circumstances hurt if we try. Oh baby, then you know if it's do or die. Should we make it work? We should make this work. Oh, is it right to feel, baby, let me know if it's do or die. We can make this work. We should make this work. If we try, oh baby, even though it's do or die, we can make this work. 1, 2, 3, ready. Mike in the night street.
People of the night.
I won't let you walk without a thing. No,
Oh yeah.
no, I got the girl. Yeah, I won't let you walk without a thing. We can make this work. I won't let you walk without a thing.
I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night wherever you are watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky or your cabin or camper in the woods, or just couch surfing or bugged out in the woods that no one knows where you're at and you're picking us up from a satellite transmission somewhere, or maybe just on a road trip or relaxing on your lazy boy. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It is 3 a.m. and something is moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, get some coffee or tea, or some lemon water like I got here, because you're tuned in to Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Intro track by Ralphe.co.New Zealand. And tonight's show is going to be a really good action-packed show. We are doing 2021 predictions. And for 2021 predictions, you're going to have a minimum of 2 minutes. You have to stay on at least 2 minutes and maximum 10 minutes. So you can't be on longer than 10 minutes to give everybody a chance. Okay, guys? So this way, it gives us a little bit of room to get as many callers in as possible tonight. I tried promoting the show earlier today. Unfortunately, the video was flagged for nudity. It's just me sitting in a chair with my hoodie on, talking about the show tonight, and the show or the video was flagged for nudity. I put it up under community here for you guys. So here it is, guys. Let's go to article scan. So there it is, guys, under the community. We wanted to let you know you've been flagged. Somebody had flagged it for nudity. Mike in the Night, Morning Coffee 2021 predictions. So basically, someone's trying to get us unable to stream or unable to live stream or get a strike against the channel. So there's somebody in Australia is doing it. So they're really pushing hard to try and get this channel shut down. I don't know why people aren't allowed to freely talk with each other or create some sort of form of assembly without being harassed by others. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So there it is right there. So I lost the thimble and the video got put up back. The video was put right back up after I told them what was happening. So there it is, guys. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And we're heading towards the new year, 2021. Guys, don't forget to check it out. And we have a lot of cool stuff here under the community. Let's go into a little bit of analytics here real quick. I asked you guys, what country are you in? We got 447 votes. We got 51% in Canada, 23% in Australia, 16% in the United States, 7% in New Zealand, and 3% in the United Kingdom watching the show. We asked, apparently there's another sickness outbreak. What should we call it? 37% of you said we should call it the COVID-007. 19% of you guys says call it Acapulco Gold Fever. 18% said to call it ball juice. 14% jungle juice, and 12% Tasmania fever. And then the other question we asked 4 days ago, are politicians essential during this pandemic? 6% said, why, yes, we need more information. And 94% said, no way, Jose, they could get lost. So I want to go over some of these little bit here on what's going on with the channel, guys. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to me on Facebook, if you can. Oh, there's the image right there. It's me holding up a cup of coffee, and it was flagged. Somebody flagged it for nudity, so I got in trouble. So what they're trying to do is trying to get the stream unstreamable. Here you go, guys. Instagram. Don't forget to check out Instagram. If you guys want to message me, go ahead and send me show tips on Instagram anytime, any place. I'm always here to message you or message you back. I'm also on Parler, guys. Don't forget to check out Parler. Parler is so good. It's a lot of fun. It's basically what Facebook used to be back in the day. And don't forget to check out one of our channel friends, Art by Dano. Check him out. Not your typical art. Really, really cheap. And I think he's offering free shipping. And check it out. Check it out. And music by Ralphe.co.New Zealand. Check him out too. And he can make you any track. If the price is right, he'll do anything for you when it comes to making music. He's professional, and he puts up a lot of our videos. And I appreciate him doing that. It means a lot to us that we're getting it down in New Zealand. We're getting more exposure via different channels in different publication areas, public areas. All right, guys, 2021 predictions. Woo! All right, let's go to article scan real quick. We're just going to go over really quickly some of the top stories that are trending right now. So, Zero Hedge, Nashville bomber may have died in explosion. Feds raid suspect's house. Welcome to Russiagate 2.0, right on schedule. LA County is running dangerously low on oxygen to treat COVID. U.S. is helping India spy on China, military near disputed border. And Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary warns 100 million Americans have no retirement. That's old news. That's the end game. And new single-family homes sold, not as large as they used to be. So homes are getting more and more smaller. And it's going to get to a point where we become enslaved in tiny homes. So there it is. Suicide bombing suspect in Nashville explosion as investigators search home in south of the city. So that's it right there. And they're investigating what happened. Let's move on here. So here it is, guys. I mean, you could add this onto your prediction list if you like. Confirmed cases of new COVID variant in Canada are unsurprising, experts say. So now there's another sickness. I think it came in from London, and now Saturday there are 2 confirmed cases. So we have another sickness that's arrived in Canada. Now over to South China Morning Post. China passes law to protect River Yanzing. Hong Kong national security law. About 30 people overseas sought by police. Now, this is what the law they're passing in Australia that allows Chinese police and military to go in and arrest people in other countries. And most of these suspects now are in Europe or the US or Taiwan. So 30 people overseas sought by police. So this is not good, guys. Bad business, the rise and fall of China's bike-sharing twin stars. Beijing silent on reported changes to Hong Kong's political system. And just trying to see if there's anything here. China's facing more policy changes ahead. And again, back to that other story. Canada detects first mutant COVID variant case, says health officials. So there it is. Chinese firm betting heavily on Democratic Republic of Congo's mines. Lots of mining in China. The big African sell-off. So that's it right there, guys. And okay, predictions. So here it is. Here's a few predictions I pulled up. The Lord will return. Bible scholars 2021 end of the world prediction after decoding text. This is coming from one of these here in the UK, from the Daily and Sunday Express. Baba's Vision, Baba Vanga, 2021 predictions. Mystic who foresaw 9/11 sees cure for cancer and a dragon seizing humanity. The dragon, we all know what the dragon is, right? So here it is right there. A blind mystic who reportedly predicted 9/11 foresees a cure for cancer and assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin and a dragon seizing humanity for 2021. That's Baba Vanga. Nostradamus 2021 predictions. Let me make sure there's no audio on this thing here. Nostradamus 2021 prediction. Asteroid at the end of the world prediction in horror forecast. Oh, come on. Top 10 real estate predictions. More drops for 2021. Yeah, if you're in the Commonwealth, yes. If you're in the middle, to me, personally, if you're in middle America, you're screwed. Prices will go up. 2021 cybersecurity predictions. So what are the cybersecurity predictions? Cloud hosting providers finally crack down on cyber abuse. Hackers infest home networks with worms. Booby-trapped smart chargers led to smart car hacks. Users revolt over smart device privacy. Attackers swarm VPNs and RDBs as remote workforce swells. Yeah, more and more people are working from home, right? It's easier to hack into someone at their home, right? Attackers pinpoint security gaps in legacy endpoints. Every service without MFA will suffer a breach. And those are your predictions for that. And yeah, so I kind of wanted to throw out a few predictions out there for 2021 show, guys, tonight on Mike in the Night. All right, we're going to get our first caller in. We got maybe, remember, guys, 2 minutes minimum and 10 minutes maximum. So this way, everyone's going to have a chance to come on and call into the show. Just go ahead and message me in Skype to let me know if you could come on. And you are very welcome to come on. Just go ahead and message me first in Skype. And then just tell me who you are here in the comments so I know who, because I know everyone that's commenting on here. So I kind of have built relationships with everybody on here over the last couple of years. We've been here together, right? Puff the Magic Dragon. So we got people commenting all over the comment section. All right, so let's get our, all right, so we got, let's get Craig Cook. I want to get Craig Cook on first from New Zealand. Give us his 10-minute plug, and we're good to go. Yo, Merry Christmas!
Yeah, turn that down. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. So we've got a big show. I'll just roll them off. I've got a bit of I wrote a few notes.
Go ahead. Hey, Merry Christmas, happy pre-New Year, by the way. And Craig Cook here from New Zealand going to give us his predictions for 2021. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, so we're going to see more COVID. I think it'll be COVID 2021, possibly 22. There's going to be more of a push for UBI globally, getting people used to that. There's going to be more generational wars, blaming, why did the baby boomers do that? In New Zealand, we're going to see more Chinese influence there. We're going to see more Chinese signs on the motorway and street maps and more of a push in the culture, that kind of thing. We're going to see more AI and automation and layoffs. We will start to see more supernatural and activity and an attack on Christianity.
Right.
Also in New Zealand, I believe we will start to see have a minister for the homeless.
Like a homeless minister that's going to be advocating for the homeless.
Yes, yeah, and I believe they will start to beat the war drums. I think you'll see some more Chinese, warships and that around. And I'm coming up a minute and a half. I went too fast, sorry. And I do believe that you will see a push to get people into the idea of having a global government.
Yeah.
And a need of, this is too big for us and we all have to come together. And I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I used to believe they might do a fake alien invasion. But I think with the environment and this COVID thing, I think they've got enough to really push it.
Interesting.
And yeah, no, that's about me, and that's my time. Yeah, and I think it's just important to stick together. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say was they're really going to push this narrative of, you know, if you want stuff, you're evil. If you drive a car, you're evil. You have to save the environment. You have to be a good citizen. You know, like with.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You know, like it'll be like shame on you because, you know, you want to have a shower and you want to go to work and you want to drive a car. Like, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. Mm-hmm. There'll be more of this kind of, you know, like Spock used to say on Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
It's kind of sad that the media is not siding with us anymore. The media used to be the watchdog for society and used to look over for us at the elites and the governments, and kind of they used to be our watchdog, and they would rat people out, and reporters would be, you know, always risking their lives to get a story. Now it's all kind of pre-played and it's kind of sad where it's gone.
Oh, yeah, and when I say AI and automation, I'm talking about, you know, robots doing jobs, robots flying planes, and this kind of thing. You know, robots driving trucks, and they've started to do that. I think it'll be a continuation of that.
So how does this all make you feel, Craig?
Well, personally, I feel really good because, yeah, I'm a Christian and I love Jesus, and you know, I'll say that while I can. And so it doesn't worry me. And as a Christian, you know, I believe these things have to happen. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I do believe it's the end of the start. But the end of the start of the beginning. Okay. But I think that, yeah, I think the world's changed, and I think a lot of people will have a hard time. You're going to see more homeless, more inflation. That was another one I thought of. Higher cost of living, and unfortunately more people are leaving by their own hand, we shall say.
Okay.
You know, I think you'll start to see a bit of a global pandemic on that. And I do believe.
Could it be are you predicting the one that just hit Toronto, the new one that's arrived in Canada? There's another pandemic that hit. Yeah, well, I mean, look, they can just roll the alphabet, you know, out. Will it be COVID 25.A, or it might be the zebra disease, or it might be the zebra fly disease. Yeah.
Take your pick, really. I mean, you know, and here, and I'll leave you with this, but, you know, and I'll tell you something funny, and I'll just leave it here, but before I do that, you know, I wish everyone be safe, enjoy your freedom, and, you know, if you've got something you like doing, go and do it, like I do with Ralphe with my music.
Right.
You know, live your life. That's how you beat them. You live your life.
Live your life. Be happy. Do what you like. That's right, brother.
Yeah. Follow your passion. But now, here's an interesting note. Now, I don't know if anyone else noticed when they had these so-called terrorists running around, and George Bush was telling us all about these terrorists. Mm-hmm. I had a thought to myself. I thought, well, it looks to me like someone got the old tablecloths from the Happy Days set, cut them in little squares, and they all said, well, hey guys, if you wear these scarves, and we'll all be terrorists, eh? That's a good idea. So that's my little thing, you know, and no one else picked on that. They all looked at me a bit weird, but there's no terrorists anymore. Has anyone noticed? There's no more terrorists.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I think we're going to see more climate change on the horizon. And I think I'm going to see more rolling blackouts. And that's what Xavier is saying in the comments right now. And he's right. They're going to start creating excuses for certain things, right?
Oh, I know. We'll shut down the internet. And that will be a...
I think, honestly...
The aliens did it or something like that. You know,
I think, Craig, we're going to have rationed electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 hours a day or something. Craig, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm right here. Okay. So listen, that'll do me, Mike. I've had a good 7 minutes, and I really appreciate it. I love you all.
Thanks,
And
Craig.
stay
Love you, man.
strong,
God bless
guys.
you.
Get your support network around you, get your good people, and don't fall for the trap. Remember, the people in your lives are what matter.
Okay,
Follow your
brother.
dreams.
God bless.
All right, and that's me. Thank you.
Bye. That is Craig Cook from Down Under in New Zealand. Okay, so we got Ralphie wants to come in. Our intro song is from Ralphie. And he wants to come on. Yo, Ralphie, how are you doing, dog?
How are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Are you at work now? Where are you?
No, I'm actually off work for the year, just chilling in the sun and listening to Mike in the Night.
Well, it's Mike in the afternoon for you. Hold on, let me get you on full screen here. There you are. It's so sunny. It's hot. It's so good being in New Zealand right now.
Well, I'm under a tree. You know, I just come back from the beach. Life is good.
Well, don't. You're making me jealous. All right, Ralphie. Okay. Predictions. What are you predicting? Go.
Okay, so the New Zealand government, if you've looked at the recent news, has spent $2.5 million recently on the Make Summer Unstoppable ad campaign. So $2.5 million. Thank you very much, taxpayers. But yeah, my prediction is just going to be more of that sort of ad campaigns, just making it cool to do stuff like get the vax and wear a mask. It's going to be cool.
Are you going to get the vax?
I'm going to try not to. Obviously, the only thing that's stopping me really is if I want to, jump on a plane or a train. That's going to be the one that gets me.
Right.
But yeah, if I can, I'm just gonna see what all the what it does to other people first for at least 3 years.
Yeah, at least 3 years. 3 years is a good time.
Yeah, but that's good. It's gonna be that slow transition. So my predictions for 2021 is it's gonna make it cool to wear to get a vax and wear a mask. Just like the ads are rolling out, 2.5 million on Make Summer Unstoppable. That's actually a thing happening right now.
So basically, if you want to keep your summer, you're gonna get you're gonna get the jab.
Oh no! The ad campaign is all about logging into the app, making that cool. So yeah, that's my prediction. But hey, look, it's sunny today in New Zealand. All I have to say is, life it can fill you up with sort of things like with pain, but just enjoy life while you can, and just the simple things, whether it's going for a walk with your dog or just being around family, playing games with your family, in person. Just enjoy life, because the less pain that you can accumulate in life, that's a successful life. You know what I mean? I mean, we all experience pain in some way or another, but if you can minimize that and just really, be thankful to God and be thankful for the sun and for the nature, be thankful for what you have, for having each other, on Mike in the Night. Hello to Craig as well. I heard his call, and he's a good mate. We met through Mike in the Night. Just enjoying these sort of things, and this is why I like your channel, Mike. You remind me of the early days of YouTube. When you could tag each other and there was actually a community. Right. It was like a community website. This is what reminds me, Mike in the Night reminds me of things like that. And I really enjoy your show, and it's one of the few YouTube channels I actually make an effort to go watch, because it's all about the community.
Well, I appreciate that.
So yeah, that's my quick call. I know we've only got a few minutes each, but yep, that's it for me, really. That's my prediction.
Okay, brother. All right, Ralphie, you have a good one. Enjoy your summer.
But God bless you, Mike, and hope you had a great Christmas and have a very happy New Year. And,
you too.
Thanks for what
God
you do.
bless you, and I know you've had a great Christmas. And happy early New Year.
Yep, and thank you so much for playing the intro music. That means a lot, and all the comments. It's so cool, eh?
Okay, brother. Enjoy your summer. We'll see you soon.
God bless you.
God bless. All right, guys. That is Ralphie from Down Under, ralphie.co.nz. Don't forget to check him out. I'm going to plug it later. And it is 2021 predictions. 2021. What are you predicting for 2021? Well, we got a bunch of articles already we went through of what they're predicting when it comes to storms, when it comes to climate change, when it's, you know what I'm saying, right, guys? You know where I'm getting. Let me just take a sip of water here. Guys, I'm going to be downing a lot of water tonight because I got a little tickle in the throat. I was out shoveling snow the other day and it was really wet. All right, let's get Mitch on.
Mike.
Mitch, how are you, my brother?
Good. How are you? How was your Christmas?
Amazing. How was yours, buddy?
Great. I went down to visit an old friend, and then had dinner at my brother and sister-in-law's, and we Skyped with my uncle down in Southern California, and then we Skyped with my family over in the Philippines. You know, had a really nice Christmas.
Nice. All right.
I'll
2021 predictions. What do you got for us?
Okay, 3 financial, 2 political, and very quick and short.
Go ahead. Take your time.
Silver's going to be in the year next year above $31, a little over 20% gain. Gold is going to be, this is U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
Gold is going to be over $2,200. The U.S. dollar is going to fall not as much as some predict, but it's going to fall below 80. It's about 90 right now, which is going to go down more than 10%. And then my 2 political calls are Gavin Newsom is going to be only the 3rd governor in U.S. history, the governor of California, to be recalled from office. And Joe Biden will not be the president of the United States this time next year. That's my calls. I'm done.
Wow. All right, Mitch.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna replay this in about a year, and we're gonna. I think you're on the money with almost everything you just said.
We'll see. Let's get on to the next one. I think everybody's gonna want to jump on board now.
Okay, Mitch. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. Well, God bless all of you. Good night.
Thank you.
I'll see you in the chat. Bye-bye.
That is Mitch from Portland, Oregon. Woo! Good old Mitch. All right, let's get blunt news on the show. Well, it says it's ringing. I'm not hearing it. Hello?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Blunt News. How are you, my brother? So, Blunt News on the show, he predicted that Bitcoin was going to skyrocket a couple of weeks before it took off. And I actually took your advice on that. And you know what I did? I bought a lot of those stock market miners, like those stock in the NYSE and the TSX. Mm-hmm. And they're all like 50 to 100% up.
Yeah, it's insane. It's pretty insane right now. All right, I'll be fast.
No, you don't have to be fast. You don't have to be fast. Just tell us. Go ahead. 2021. All right,
we'll start with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's gonna continue its bull market as more and more people pile in. If you watch supplies on exchanges, they're dropping.
Right.
So lots of money chasing very little goods. Gold and silver, same thing. They're going to go up. I think the question isn't what's going to go up, because I think with all the money printing going on, everything's going to go up. So we want to try to predict what's going to win the inflation race, what's going to go up the most, right? I agree with the last caller. We could see, silver above $30 and gold above, $2,200, $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the big winner is going to be Bitcoin this year, or in the following year, as far as inflation goes.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
What about political? What about political? Do you see Hill Dog being president of the United States somehow?
No, I don't think so. No
Hill Dog?
No, I think Biden takes it, and he's going to be kind of the Trudeau of the South. He's going to fill his cabinet with, people on based on ethnicity and sex rather than merit. Basically what Trudeau did, right? He's going to be that type of guy. Just like
Jacinda Ardern from New Zealand and Scotty Morrison from Australia.
Yeah,
just like everybody else.
They're going to virtue signal. They don't care about having experts. Their plan is in their plan already. That's what I think.
Hmm.
Housing, I think it's going to go up, but it's going to be, I think, the biggest loser in the inflation race. So yeah, you're going to get some nominal gain with housing, but it's not going to be as much as other assets like gold and silver. What else? The Covey.
Oil. What about oil? Oil's at around $45-$50 in and out.
Oil had a rough year, right? So it all depends how much they lock us down. If they continue with this lockdown, oil's going to suffer. If they allow us to go to work and live a normal life, I could see oil going up to maybe $60, $70
Yeah.
a barrel. But with lockdowns, and if they continue them, oil's going to suffer. Same with copper. It is an inflation race, so they may very well go up, but I'm saying compared to all other options, it may be the biggest loser.
I want to ask real quick here. The new sickness that arrived in Toronto a few days ago.
Yeah, in Durham.
There's a new sickness that arrived in Canada.
Yeah. No, they're calling it the UK COVID, right? It was racist if you say the Chinese virus, but if you say the virus from the UK,
No, China's saying it's
perfectly
India now.
fine.
They are. I'm not making this up.
Well, our mainstream here in Canada has no problem calling it the UK virus, the new strain, the UK virus, but they did have a problem with people calling the COVID-19 the China virus.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. You can see kind of where they're trying to push things. I think the whole China narrative, they're going to continuously try to make the public warm up to the Chinese and their way of life, and look at the Chinese and how well they were able to deal with COVID, and we should take measures like the Chinese did and
Save
basically-
lives.
Yeah, save lives, right? Always the excuses before they clamp down,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so COVID, I think they're going to keep going with it. This is a hard prediction because we are seeing cracks. We're seeing people kind of hold their ground, putting lines in the sand and saying, I will not, take the vax, or if you think you can tell us we have a choice, but then not allow us health care and shopping and social gathering because we don't take, and working because we don't take the vax, then basically there is no choice. So I think that's going to be a line in the sand for many people. It is for me. And there's some hope there that we actually push back and this bogus thing that they have us on for almost a year now. So
Is the government going to come and save the people?
the government, this is how they're going to save the people.
I'm just being sarcastic. Well, because a lot
But
of
you
people,
know what, Mike?
a lot of
I
people.
wanna-
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to hear your predictions. I think the audience wants to hear Mike Martin's go. I think gold is going to do this. I think this is
No,
where
this is. I honestly see rationed electricity, and they're going to be rolling out more blackouts and getting us used to it.
As far as that goes, I think they're going to start raising the prices on that even more in Canada.
Well, they have to. They have to, because what they're going to do is they're going to federalize all the power, all the natural gas. There going to be no more private companies. It's going to be all federalized, and they're going to charge what they feel like.
Yeah.
And I believe that China is going to allow police and military to come into Canada and arrest anybody on site if they feel like it.
Yeah, there's going to be bullets flying, Mike.
Yes.
There's-
That's what I think is going to happen.
On Saturday, somebody called in and said there wasn't very many guns in Canada. Just look anywhere outside the big cities. Everybody's got guns.
Mm-hmm.
Canada's is a country of hunters, a
It's
country
true.
of trackers. We know how to
Hunters,
to
gatherers,
survive
and
in the
trackers.
bush. Yeah. So if there's going to be a foreign invasion, they got something coming. We got the best of the best in this country when it comes to survival.
Wolverines.
That's right, Wolverines. So yeah, I want to hear your prediction, Mike. I'm gonna hang up. That would be nice for the audience, I think. Where do you think gold? Where do you think Bitcoin and silver, and housing and oil and all that? Where do you think that's going?
Okay, I'll do a quick plug once we're done. Okay.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay, thanks for having me, Mike.
All right, God bless you.
Later.
Later, bud. Okay, guys, that is Blunt News. Don't forget to check him out. He's on D Live. Hopefully, he'll give us the link on D Live to get him. You can watch his transmission on Sunday nights. Okay, what are my predictions, guys, for 2021? Okay, gold. I see gold around $1,600, $2,000 mark easy. That's American. I see, sorry, 1,600. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna see gold. Sorry, to $2,600 to $3,000 mark. 2,600 to 3,000 by middle next year. I'm sorry, I meant American dollar. 2,600 to 3,000. I see silver around the $35 to $40 range. American. I see Bitcoin kind of hanging in there at 33,000. So that would be 28,000 American, kind of streamlining that in that 28,000 to $30,000 mark. I see. What else do I see? The price. I'm getting Blunt News' D Live information here for you guys. If you guys want to check them out. Are they going to pull the trigger on another pandemic? Yeah, why not? I predicted that last year before COVID. They will pull the trigger on another pandemic. I think so. What else do you think they're going? What else do I think they're going to do? Gold, silver, commodities. Copper's going to go down. I see building materials go up. I see the price of housing going up because there's going to be a supply and demand issue again. And Middle America, the price of housing in Middle America. So if you're in Texas, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Florida, you're in South Carolina, you're in Mississippi, you're in Alabama, Arizona, Nevada, and I see the price up to Kansas. I see and Missouri. I see the price of housing almost doubling in those areas because you're going to have a lot of people mass exodusing New York, California, and those other cities to seek affordability levels. That's what I see happening. What else do I see? I just see them rationing electricity. Or we have an abundance of it, but they're going to start rationing it out. We're going to have blackouts, roll out blackouts, and get us used to it. They're going to make, just like some states in America where it's illegal to collect solar power and collect water, they're probably going to make that illegal all over the Commonwealth, make it illegal to have solar, even though they want us to go green and be more green. If you collect solar, they don't want that. So they want you tied to the grid regardless. So I just see a lot of movements happening, and not in a positive way. I wish, and then they might even start rationing internet service. Where you ration internet service. I see Canada, they try to propose after 20 gigabytes of usage, the federal government could charge you $5 per gigabyte on internet. So the federal government has already tried this, and they're going to try it again, $5 a gigabyte, and this is going to help for the COVID relief, so we could send more money to Mars. And what else? I don't know, man. I see Canada, I see us, not Canada, but I see us finding life on Mars, so our federal governments could send money there too. I see an oversupply of printing money. Inflation is I think it's gonna get out of control, and it'll be unmanageable. Lots. I don't know. I could talk for a while about this, but yeah. So we had Blunt News on. Sean says he'll be in at 7:45, so we'll call him back. Okay, let's get David on the show. David Zoo, XU. David on the show. David, are you there? David? David?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Okay, yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Mike. Because I was plugged into my headphone into the computer, so I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. I could hear you perfectly. All right,
Okay.
David. How do you pronounce your last name? Zoo?
It doesn't matter, okay? I just call it Xavier, whatever.
Okay, David Xavier in the house. Okay, buddy, give us our 2021 predictions, buddy. What are you feeling?
Okay, so I'm thinking the COVID cases is gonna go up. Well, at least according to the government. I think they're gonna make up new numbers, and they're gonna artificially inflate the number of cases, and the solution for that is obviously to get everyone vaccinated. So that's number one. number two, I think I think the unemployment rate is going to go up,
Right.
and with that comes an increase in the number of cases in divorce. So we might see, a lot of like single moms, looking after their kids, the more broken homes, which is not good for our future. So, what do you think, Mike?
Me? I'm asking
Yeah.
you. What do you see?
I
What do you see happening to gold and silver?
I think gold and silver, they're gonna go up, and I think Bitcoin, that's gonna go up as well. I think the market is gonna crash. I don't think the Federal Reserve can, sustain, money printing for long. It's gonna come down, and I think a lot of people's pensions are gonna be affected by this. So they're not gonna have anything to rely on when they turn 65, 67, and so on. So.
What do you see? What do you see happening with the weather? Are they going to change the name to climate change to they change the name every couple of years to throw people off, right?
Yeah, climate change, global warming, global cooling. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen with that? Do you think Greta Thunberg is going to make a comeback in 2021?
I'm not too worried about climate change actually, because
Neither am I. I mean, I don't.
sorry.
Yeah.
Because like the climate is changing. It's called the four seasons.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly.
Do you see an uprising in leftist movements?
For sure, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of power struggle within the Democratic Party, I think, or even like between like the Democrats and the Republicans, and like the Proud Boys and the Antifas. Well, that's in the States. I'm not so sure about what's gonna happen in Canada, but I think in Canada it's more lefty, at least in the major cities like Toronto, where I live.
So the new sickness arrived on your shores today. There's 2 cases from England. How does that make you feel?
It's like 2 cases from Durham region from a couple who has no known travel history. So I'm not too sure about. Is it a misdiagnosis? I'm not sure, because at this point I think COVID is used as a political tool rather than something that's for our health. I think that's just how I see it.
You know, if they wanted to, they could make up a story and say a couple was sleeping in their Durham home and something came in through the window that escaped from England and went into them. And people would believe that. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, most people are cheapos and they don't really have like this, critical thinking skills. They just believe in whatever the media is telling them what to believe. I mean, like, speaking of that, like some of my family members, they're willing to take the vaccine, but for me, like, I'm thinking that because like the development cycle is just way too short, and there's not enough time for the companies to do like a long-term study, like let's say 5 to 10 years of like studies to see the
Clinical
effects.
trials.
The clinical trials, yeah, like phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, those things. Because of like the lack of clinical trials, like lack of studies. Like personally, for me, I'm not telling anyone what to do, but for me, I don't feel comfortable receiving that, what do you call it, serum?
The serum, yeah.
Yeah, the serum, yeah. But I don't know, cause like I think my parents, especially my mom, I think she's like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna believe what the government is doing. I trust them. I don't know if this is the right thing to do at this moment, because like I think there are a lot of good people out there who wanted to do the right things, but don't really have the time to do the necessary research on these important issues. So I don't know. I'm doing what I can, trying to convince my parents not to receive the vaccine because of the potential side effects, like allergic reaction, death, or like inability to have kids. At least that's what I heard.
Well, there's all kinds of rumors flying around, and
Kinds
there's
of-
all kinds of death rumors flying around too, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, so are you predicting? Do you predict? Can you see maybe, let's say, a visitation from outer space? I mean, it's no big surprise. I mean, if we get a first contact, let's say from another, this wouldn't be a surprise for me anymore, because everything's just going out of control. It wouldn't surprise me if aliens land on our planet and take us over.
Yeah, we'll have our first Martian on Earth, like building a rocket from Mars and visiting Earth. I think it's gonna happen in like 2021 and beyond.
Well, let's hope that we don't find life on Mars, because if we do, our government's going to send money.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. That's horrible. I don't like that.
Anything else, David?
I think the food prices.
That's a good
they're
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like essentials like insurance, like car insurance, that's gonna go up as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think anything like that's essential, like quote unquote essential, like your clothing, healthcare, food, water, medicine, that's all gonna go up. Things like, PlayStation 5, I think that's gonna go down because well, like for now there's like a shortage of that, but over time there's gonna be surpluses, and so in the long run, I think things like that, like entertainment, like movies, those are gonna go down. But all the essentials, they're all gonna go up. So that's like a big one, and I think a lot of families are gonna struggle with just putting food on the table, or even paying rent, or both, or neither. So.
That's good. That's a tough one. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I don't think Biden's gonna be president.
You don't think so either?
I don't think so.
Do you see Hill Dog taking over?
I see Kamala Harris taking over. I think she is like the real presidential candidate.
Okay.
Like currently she's like the VP elect, but I think if anything happens to Joe, she's gonna take over, and I think that's the Democratic Party's real plan is to put her as the president. So I don't see Hill Dog, because Hill Dog, I think she's just too sick to even.
Oh, too sick! Don't be silly.
Too sick. She could barely stand.
Well, that's even a better reason to put her in. That's just how it works in America.
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right, David.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, brother. Be good, okay?
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Okay, yeah. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
That's David Xavier in the house. And that is really good to hear from him. It's been a while. It's been like a few months since we've spoken to him. And we got the comments full blast here. And, property taxes, I think, are another thing that's going to go up. I think a lot of cities and municipalities don't have the money because a lot of the blue collar and average wage earners and middle class people left the big cities because they can't afford to eat. So they moved away, and now the cities need to make up this money. So what do? They just raise property tax. Woo! Okay, let's see if we can get Supremo Cannon on. Let's get his 10-minute plug.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Supreme. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, buddy. Let me just mute this thing here. There we go.
All right, 2021 prediction, Supremo. What do you got for us? You got a whole 10 minutes. Fill it up.
Oh boy, whole 10 minutes. Lucky me. Well, it sounds like COVID 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 are on deck. I have a feeling that they're not going to stop running with this for a while. So, hopefully everybody batten down the hatches because it's going to be a fascinating 2021. I don't know. All this talk about a vaccine and they're rolling out the rest of it. There's going to be people, the technocrats as usual, saying, well, you're not going to be able to do anything, turn a wheel unless you take the jab. And I think a lot of people are just going to give them the finger and tell them to bugger off. And they should. Because in the end, it's like, okay, well, if you're not going to talk about closing the borders, if you're not going to talk about bringing manufacturing back to North America, if you're not talking about any of that, then we're not talking to you.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's a reason that this happened. Like pandemics have been around. There was a pandemic during Woodstock, for crying out loud. There was a pandemic going through the States at the time. They're a part of life. That's all. So don't mind me. I just literally walked in the door and got logged in. So just getting sorted down here.
No problem. Okay, gold and silver. What do you see happening?
Gold and silver, they're going to inch higher. I think Bitcoin's going to peak, and it's gonna pull back some. Usually, when people are, it's like the price of anything, right? Like you see it yourself. You do a lot of trading. I mean, by the time that the price takes off like a rocket, that's when everybody starts seeing it, and that's when everybody starts trying to jump on the train. That's the worst time to do it. Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned, this particular run, the train has left the station. However high it gets, it's going to get okay, but I think it's going to come back down to earth. Right. Any semblance of normalcy at all, or people's perception of normalcy, it'll come back down. Okay. Apparently, gold and silver have pulled back a bit, but all the money's going to be piling into the economy and the secondary effects of that. I think it's going to put a floor under the price, and I think it'll power higher this year. I don't think we'll see a moonshot. I don't think so. All the usual suspects are there, pulling their levers and pushing their buttons. I just don't think they're going to let it go away. But unless we see a real genuine economic reset that gold and silver isn't involved in, I just think that means the game's going to continue for another year. We'll see what happens.
What do you see happening with housing?
Housing, I'm amazed that it's as busy as it is, as brisk as it is. With lumber where it is right now, like our guys are busier than they've ever been. Like they're turning away work right now. Not the worst situation to be in, but we're also not looking at expanding our operation. Like we had a pretty bad cut. The mill that we logged for 40 years, we're not with them anymore. We don't have that evergreen contract to go to the bank and say, okay, we need to borrow a couple $1 million to buy iron. You know what I mean? We need to see stuff in writing. So we don't have any expansion plans. We just plan to just head down and nose to the grindstone and power through and enjoy it while it lasts. But housing, I don't understand how it's gotten as high as it is. And okay, you drop the cost of money, and when you go from 5% down to 4%, that's a 20% cut. If you go from 2% down to 1.5 or 1, that's a 30 to 50% cut in the cost of borrow, right? Which theoretically should, boost the price higher, or at least keep it where it is. But so many people have lost work. Even if they haven't lost their job, they've had layoffs, they've had sabbaticals and furloughs and all those funky terms they use for go away until we call you back. Mm-hmm. So I just think. It's either outside speculation trickling in here and keeping the floor prices again, or maybe people are maybe there's an optimism starting to show up that we're getting to the end of 2020. Mm-hmm. I just think it's topped the roller coaster. I think it's gonna bounce along next year.
Really? Do you see them losing track of losing control of inflation?
Well, if you look at housing, I mean, it's already happened, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. Without a corresponding bump in incomes, and where all these high incomes are coming from, where people think they can afford this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I think hyperinflation is here in some areas anyway. If you owned a house, if you bought a house at $150,000 and it's sitting at $600,000, oh man, there's no inflation. It's just normal, appreciation of value, right? But if you had a $600,000 house and a year later it was worth 200, well, then it would be an absolute disaster.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I mean, the big thing we're worried about is deflation, right? We're worried about that point where enough people, that I've always used the analogy of a car driving up a snowy hill, right? And it gets close to the top and it spins out, and it doesn't matter how I mean, you put your foot through the floor, it doesn't matter. You're not moving, and you're starting to lose traction and slide backwards. I just don't see it not happening after everything that happened this year.
I have a question. Food. Where do you see food going?
Well, most food production, as far as I know, is I'm not seeing real spikes in the store.
Okay.
I shop at the local store. I think they'll do whatever they have to do to make sure that the shelves are full. And you know, I don't know. I have a feeling that's going to be fairly normal.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
What do you see them propagandizing? Like, I mean, do you think they're going to push the global warming narrative a bit more? Do you see foreign police coming on our soil? Australia is passing a bill that allows foreign armies to come in and police, and they are not liable of deaths of citizens. What do you think of that? Do you think that's going to happen? Do you maybe or no? Or
if there's anything that actually starts people start setting off the gunpowder, it'll be that. It depends on what they do with that. Right. I mean, sometimes it sounds pretty apocalyptic, and the underlying reasoning is actually not that unsound. Right. It's just a matter of, okay, if they're worried about a breakdown in civil order to the point that they're going to get the UN or the PLA or somebody to come in and start patrolling the streets. Yeah, that's when you see burning cars and bombs.
Yeah, because China created this new system of policing, and they've already arrested 35 people in Europe and Australia and other parts and brought them back to China.
Oh yeah, they're called I think they're called greyhounds or something like that. Something hounds. Yeah, that's right. Chinese citizens that are, say, studying overseas, or activists, right, or people that get out of China and then they become activists, things like that. Yeah, they scoop them up and they take them home for prosecution.
Right.
But it's still a form of kidnapping. It's not really. I don't really think Western governments are sanctioning it per se. It's just, as long as there's money in it, they're going to turn a blind eye to it. It's like in the 1850s, the U.S. Supreme Court in the Dred Scott decision. I mean, the northern states obviously opposed slavery, but if a slave escaped from the South to the North, then the Southern owner could sue for the return of his slave, and he would have to return. Ooh. Even though, you know what I mean? That was called the Dred Scott decision, or compromise, and it didn't do anything to slow down the Civil War. If anything, it probably just made the powder burn that much hotter when it finally went off, because it was ridiculous. But they were just trying to keep the Union together, you know. So compromises like that get made, where you look the other way just to try to avoid problem. Half the population is going to fall in the line, do whatever they're told, and the other half are pretty much white hot angry and ready to burn the place to the ground. They're just waiting. They're waiting for the spark.
What do you see China doing in the South China Sea? It looks like they're forming an island just northeast of Darwin. They're creating some sort of an island out there, and they're putting military installations there. It's kind of bizarre. Just northeast of Darwin, off the Australian coast, and it looks like they got their eyes set on Taiwan. Taiwan is like the last, I guess, form of Iron Curtain that separates China. What do you see happening there?
Well, where China is concerned, I mean, they have a large military, but their military is still mostly Soviet equipment, right? It's Soviet era equipment. Like, they have a new strategic bomber that's based basically on the Russian Tu-16, I believe, jet bomber, which first flew in about 1958. You know, like a lot of the Chinese military is a paper tiger, and they're you know, they don't really have a lot of deployable units. Most of their military is used for internal security. They don't have amphibious assault forces like America has or Britain has. Something along that line. They've started building in that direction. They have a couple of helicopter assault ships that they were building, but one of them caught fire this summer in the dry dock. So they're a long way from that. They have an aircraft carrier, but it's kind of based on an old Russian design, and the planes are underpowered, and they can only take off if they're not carrying any weapons. So it's really not, you don't want to go to war with them.
Well,
But
I don't want. Nobody wants to go to war.
No,
but
nobody
it's
wants to
just
go to
this
war, but-
shutdowns. These shutdowns. Hey, let me tell you something. You know
Yeah.
that I had to go. I went to an underground church mass.
Oh, did you?
I had to be underground.
Oh, is that right?
I'm not making this up. Like, I'm not
Where was-
joking.
and
It
where
had to
was
go
that?
underground because they're not allowed, churches are not allowed to be open right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In
So we're going
Canada.
back to the Roman, the 50 AD to 100 AD.
That's right. You're going to have catacombs again.
Yeah.
We're all going to meet down in the catacombs and be rebels again. Well, you know what, man? I mean, that there's no question under the Roman emperors there was a lot of persecution, but in the end, they had to make a compromise, and Christianity or Catholicism now became the Roman state religion because they just couldn't kill enough people to eliminate it.
Right.
So there was compromises made, and it was all kind of mingled together into what we have now. But the bottom line is, yeah, you'd have to say the thing they were trying to destroy won in the end, because the Roman Empire's gone and the Catholic Church is still here.
That's right.
So, yeah, nobody looks forward to oppression. Nobody looks forward to persecution
No,
or anything like that.
definitely not.
Of course not. We'd like to just try to keep surfing the wave and keep that from happening and getting out of control again. But they always lose in the end. And they'll lose this time too.
They always do.
They always do. The more persecution you have, the more it grows. That's just how it is. It just proves that they're wrong.
What about rolling blackouts? You think they're going to start getting us used to blackouts, or do you see them rationing power?
Well, the only reason that should happen, usually if you've got a shortage of power, it's like a shortage of anything else. You want to increase the supply, you just raise the price.
Right.
All right, supply and demand. If you have rolling blackouts, if it's a conditioning exercise to get us used to the days when we have to live in the pods and eat the mashed crickets, that's not going to sell very well. You're going to have some really radical politics arising out of that. I just don't see so, because in a country like ours where the lights are always on and everything always works and has for 50 or 100 years, that's a sign of incompetence. It's got nothing to do with progress or climate change or anything else. I can see them doing it because they have, and I'll just finish with this thought. They would have to divert a lot of power to produce the materials they'd need to build out this renewable grid anyway. Well, we were talking about this last year's show.
Right.
Prediction show. The only way that you're going to have an all-electric fleet of vehicles is if you have another entirely separate power source to produce all of the materials to build the grid in the first place.
I get what you're saying now, like a subgrid to keep continuity of production, but the people suffer on the other grid.
We still have to run the economy we have. So where's all the extra power going to come from to produce all of this other stuff? Because there's no overwhelming consumer demand for it. It's just kind of being mandated. Mm-hmm. And central planning of any kind of economy creates shortages. But if you have rolling blackouts, well, what's happening in California? California is a beautiful place, but rolling blackouts are just one more reason to sell your house and move to Idaho.
Yeah.
So it's not, unless they're going to put up the Great Wall of California to keep everybody in, it's just the people will vote with their feet.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Now that the mainstream media select president is in power, do you see America becoming Amerifornia?
Oh, I think that's the goal, but that's another prediction I'll go out on a limb on. I think Donald Trump will be inaugurated on the 20th of January, and if not the 20th of January, probably about the 20th of March.
Okay.
I think he won the election, and I think he's going to prove it. And he's the guy in power with emergency powers. I think he's going to be the president, or else. I don't think he's going to step down. What's he going to do? They will absolutely harass him to the grave. Mm-hmm. They will never forgive him for going against them. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
If Biden takes over, half the states in the union are immediately going to secede or start talking openly about it. He isn't going to be able to get anything done. So things will grind to a halt. It'll be kind of like 2020 forever. That's what I think.
Solar minimum is here. That's what Standing Mannequin is saying. Solar minimum is here, yet all the talk is solar power. Sounds like a setup for disaster.
Well, it's relative, right? The thing about a solar minimum is if you have fewer solar particles in the upper atmosphere, you actually wind up with drought conditions because those solar particles they kind of form the nuclei of that water droplets condense around. So you might actually wind up with long periods of drought. In the northern climates, yeah, it'll be colder for sure, but generally I think it means there's less precipitation. So actually you could wind up with, something looking like the frozen tundra, kind of where we're living now, and further south, more drought. But these things take place over a couple of centuries, right? Like there was a great warming period during the Middle Ages.
That's
and
correct.
The population exploded, and Greenland was actually green, and they were raising sheep and cattle there.
They had churches there
it didn't
too.
happen overnight. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Vikings had the whole schmear there. Newfoundland was probably more hospitable when they were there about 1,000 years ago.
Yep.
The climate in some places was nicer, so it could be that the average temperature gets about 3 degrees colder. Well, in the winter that means it's colder, and that means the summer, instead of it hitting 35, it hits 32. So it might contract the growing season by a couple of weeks on both ends. But I don't think with the kind of technology we have now, we're looking at a real problem. And anyway, if burning coal and for hydro and for heat and stuff like that at the rate we have hasn't been enough to prevent a cooling, well then I think that's your license to just go ahead and keep burning it. So you could burn more of it. I think we'll be okay.
What's China going to do to keep its power on? Because it's putting sanctions against Australia for coal, and the Mongolians don't really want to deal with China, and they're kind of like at gunpoint to take the coal from Mongolia, and Mongolia needs the coal for the winter. How do you see China powering its Red Dragon there?
Yeah, good question. Well, China has lots of coal too, although I imagine they're going to have to ramp up their production, and their economy is going to have to get downscaled enough so that industry isn't taking as much power as it is before. I would be inclined to think, ironically enough, they may be encouraging more people to get married and keep one at home.
Okay. Any final words? Supreme? Oh, we lost Supreme.
Just
Hold on, we lost you.
No. You can't hear you?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I have no idea what happened.
We lost you there for 13
we're on a
seconds.
roll.
Any last words?
Yeah. Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. If you've taken any measures to prepare in the last year or two, like we've been suggesting, this year's probably been fairly chill for you. Just keep doing it. I mean, in the end, normalcy is what everyone wants. That's what everyone demands. The definition of normal may be defined a little bit up or down this year, but I don't really see anything overly catastrophic.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's bad, but everyone wants to go back to work. Everybody wants to buy and sell. Everybody wants to do that stuff. So I think governments will do whatever they have to do to make that possible. But I think 2021, everything will more or less be suspended in midair, like it was pretty much all of this year.
Okay, that's good to hear. Some good positive note here. Okay,
I think so.
Happy New Year, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
Happy New Year, and God bless everyone, and we'll talk soon.
God bless, Supreme. See ya.
Okay, yeah, bye-bye.
Well, we got Supreme on for the whole call. That was really, really nice. So that's our eighth or ninth caller we've had in a row. Okay, guys, let's do a quick channel plug, and we'll get back to it. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Guys, there's a group of people that have been flagging our videos and flagging it with nudity. There's no nudity in the videos. And there it is, nudity policy, morning coffee with Mike predictions. I wanted to get everyone ready for the show. So there's the video right there. They took down my thimble or my thingy. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook. They have me now as a news personality. I can't believe Facebook actually did that. They've been avoiding me for years. So here it is, guys. News personality. Follow me on Facebook. Guys, if you want to send me show tips, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram. Please get me on Instagram. And if you're not on Parler yet, get on Parler. We have Anthony who's watching us on Parler right now live. So Anthony Walking Journey is watching us right now on Parler. So get on Parler and follow us there. It's like Facebook used to be back in the day. Art by Dano, dano.net, not your typical art. Please check him out. He's got a lot of cool stuff there. If you want to pick up some stuff from a local, like-minded subscriber of the channel, go ahead and support him. $20, you get something real cool, and it's free shipping. Check out what he's got at artbydano.net. And our music is brought to us by Ralphe.co.New Zealand. Check him out and see if he could get you a song on the 100% royalty-free song. See, that was a quick plug there. See, nobody panic. Nobody freak out. You are on with Mike of the Night, People of the Night. Okay, let's get our next caller on. Let's head over to Syria. See if we get someone pick up here. We are calling somebody in Syria. Looks like we're not getting a ring. It says it's ringing. I don't hear a ringing. Probably asleep. We'll check in the next hour. Because, all right, let's get on Lenny Poo on the house. Let's get Lenny Poo on. Looks like we're not getting a...
Hello?
Yo, what's up?
How are you?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
And we got
too.
Lenny in here from Manitoba, where the entire province is on lockdown.
Yeah, we're code red. We've been code red for quite a while. Not allowed to go anywhere except buy essential food. Essential. Everything else is locked off. And then, yeah. Although I would say that at Christmas, a lot of people went out visiting anyway. I saw people visiting everywhere, and who cares, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Lenny, and give us your 2021 predictions, please.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of the same as far as the that vaccine agenda. We just had a few photo ops at the end of the year, and then the real rollout is coming. 2021 is going to be the year of the vaccines. And then, like you're saying, especially we have a case here now in Canada.
Oh, my God.
So it's here, a new case of the new COVID. And probably we'll have a couple of vaccines this year, the old COVID and the new COVID. Right. And then so whoever wants to line up for that, because there are a lot of people who will. A lot of people are talking about it. They really think they'll go back to normal if they do. You know, the virtue mask is going to turn into the virtue vax for sure. And, you know, the reason for the vax really is the ID. So that ID 2020 is going to really start to come out. For every reason in the book, they're going to want to start to push how we're going to prove we've been vaxxed. How are you going to prove the voting in the states? That's going to come down to ID for sure. They're going to push that whole thing, right? With, with the voter fraud. Everyone knows there's voter fraud there. Mm-hmm. Yep, the ID, that's going to be a big deal. ID. So that's the whole reason for the vaccine anyway, is to get that everyone. They want everyone in the world barcoded. So one reason or another, there's going to be all kinds of really good reasons to get that on us.
Are they going to pull, I don't know if you saw Ralphie's call, that they spent several $1 million on propagandizing, let's have an unlocked summer type of thing?
Yeah, exactly that, right? And that's a lie anyway. But still, it's kind of pushing that, like you said, it's cool. Like, don't be, you know what? And it ties in to the social credit score too, because the mark that they ultimately want, we've got time to get there, right? So it's a slow takedown. can't do everything at once because people will freak. So really, it's not just a takedown, but it's acclimatizing everyone to it. So getting everyone used to the new normal. Can't do new normal overnight. But, already as it is, look at us here. I didn't wear a mask at first. I have to wear a mask now. I have no choice. My work, I cannot work without it. And I'm responsible for all kinds of things. And I can be fined like $500,000 and jail time if I don't make sure that everyone I'm with has masks and we do the proper thing.
Wow.
They mean it, right? Yeah. And then the medical community here, do you know that none of them can talk about what's going on in the hospitals? Like all of them have to have a non-disclosure. They've all been told non-disclosure, no talking about what's going on there. So really, it's a forced thing happening because they need to roll that out.
Well, it's like that nurse, that upper respiratory nurse with infectious disease that got laid off a few weeks back because there's no work in the ICU.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like all you know what? Everyone knows how easy it is to fix whatever problem they say we have. It's like, first, we don't have a problem. So that's another thing that will happen is a lot of people know the science isn't there. And now lawsuits are coming out. The science doesn't back up any of it.
Well, no,
so
no.
it'll really have to roll into, yeah.
Well, we already discussed this, Lynn. Science was invented to debunk Christianity. That's it. Doesn't go any further than that. There's no science in medicine because it's obviously they got us on what do you call it, antidepressants and all crap like that. There's no science in almost anything. The science is just to favor either military or their agendas. But when it comes to actually coming in for climate change or scientists, they lose their jobs, they get shamed, and they get thrown off the platform. Anybody like for example that comes in and says, look, this is not going to work, it's not going to fly, it doesn't jive, people aren't buying it, they get taken out and basically thrown off the platform and shamed.
Yeah But there really is, when you're in the court of law and there's truth coming out, people will hear. So I think it's just going to turn into, especially with the new virus, it's perfect because now there's a new virus and it'll just turn into, gee, we don't know what's going on. You're right. We don't know what's happening. Let's all wear masks for now till we figure out what's happening, and we'll social distance and we'll keep locked down because, look at all this crazy virus here that's new. So there's a new, create confusion. And then I'm going to be like, wow, let's take experimental vaccines, and that'll become normal to say, yeah, I'm taking an experiment vaccine. I'm good with it because, I'm doing my part to take this. And there'll be two sets, that's for sure, because the technology they want to get in there can't do it in one dose, right? Because it's not really about fighting colds. It's the other technology that they've got to get in. And so, and you see how highly allergic people are already to it because you can only take bits at a time. So they'll just keep pumping it in to keep getting that in there. And yeah, there'll be lots of like experimentation. But I mean, for now, that's what it is. A heavy push toward ID this year. Lots about that. It's going to be a big buzzword. How do you prove things? And then, that's turning into Bitcoin. I mean, the cryptocurrency, it will be in there too. That's going to be an all-in-one. And so all these same little rumors have to circulate so they can get the all-in-one technology that exists that they're pretending they're just trying to work on it. But no, it's there and they have their plan, and it's going to be an all-in-one. Your cryptocurrencies in you. You can spend money according to what's in your mark on your hand. And it's not a chip. It's a little different than that. But right, the mark I don't think is coming this year, but all the lead up to it is the need for ID and everyone insisting, because if they want to vote, I don't know how Trump's going to handle it. It's not him anyway, but however the little plot thickens, is going to be a demand for ID for sure, so that there's no more vote fraud. And then Canada, a lot of people are already saying they want to make sure there's no fraud. So anyone who wants to get on board of voting is going to need to prove ID. And what the best way, the only way they will say, is if you have your personal ID, which is only you because it's in your DNA and it's in the mark and it's unique to you and no one can copy it. And that's true. That's how we're going to get our very own personal ID. It's only us. You know what I mean? No one can fraud you.
And then I die a year later and then it's over and then they wasted all this money and technology for nothing.
Well, I guess you could say that, but is it for nothing? How are they going to control the whole population without it? How do you control a world without barcoding and having everyone? It's like transhumanism in a way, right?
Hmm.
Lots of ways that starts. So that kind of does start the road to transhumanism. And you need a lot of people because a lot of people won't make it. That's too heavy. That's a lot of technology. That's a lot of those little robots that are deploying and giving out medicines. Like they're going to do a lot in there, not just gene editing, but there's other stuff that's going on, like accessing certain parts and
What
the
about
ID, the
international
money.
travel? Like, let's say I heard there's a lot of airlines trying to set up connecting routes and trying to figure out connections to different countries because let's say I don't have the vaccine, but I want to fly somewhere that doesn't require it, but I'm going to have to do a stopover in a country that requires it. It's going to be a huge mess.
Yeah, again, that comes down to identification and at least having a way to say, so you know what? A lot of people will already sign up for the vaccine. So they've got lab rats for that. No problem. Got a
But
lot of
then
people to work with. For the others, we at least can still get an ID. You can get an ID to say other things, like maybe I can take a test to prove I'm free for now. But I can still prove it. Like as long as they're one way or another, it doesn't have to be a vaccine as much as it has to be a digital ID. ID 2020 and getting everyone digitally identified is the goal. The rest of the game around it is just coming at it from different angles to get that in. So yeah, probably you can fly. Maybe I'll never take a vaccine ever. You have to resist till the end. But they're gonna, if you could do, maybe I won't be able to vote. I don't care. I don't vote. I don't know. For now, travel as much. In the future, who knows? That could just always be the dangling carrot. Because again, it has to be a slow lockdown. So for next year, I think all those hassles won't quite be there. There's going to be a resistance. So there'll be some airlines that'll try to fly that don't require that. There's going to be some people that try to say, no, my business, we're not going to succumb to that. We're going to be free.
right.
I've heard there's already one airline already, Freedom Airlines. I know they're an old company, but sort of they're coming back under that name. Apparently they've done a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? There'll be pushback. I don't know. But the elections, yeah.
So let me ask you.
Same. I mean, it could be. Yeah.
Could it be like why should people that took the vaccine worry about people that didn't take the vaccine? If the other people are vaccinated, they shouldn't be worried.
Yeah, but that's what they've been saying forever. That's how it's always been. It's been like that for as long as I've been an anti-vaxxer. Like I don't do that. And they've always said that, but they say, oh, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the poor grandma and the little baby because they can't get, or the sick ones who can't get vaccinated. So, to say, hey, I'll take my chances with the disease. No, you can't have that because that was a common sense thing that came. It's like, you know what? I'll take my chance. Mumps, measles, rubella, all those that they do the MMR, that you have such a high chance of having autism. That's a 99.9% survival too. Just like this. It's like, why? Right? So even when they came up with the vaccines, the survival rate was great. They just invent these reasons to pump that in you. Yeah. There's no, that's just them trying to, I see experiment all along too. And they're a carte blanche now. They know, you look at different vaccines and you can see how different ones have affected you. So they're having that in you. And the genius of their technology is that they don't have to release that in you right away. So they can start loading you up with different bots and then wait to deploy it until in the future, like you were saying, for now you're a lab rat. And in the end, they can just pull a trigger and whole masses of people can go. It may be that way, maybe not. I don't know how the depopulation event will come. It won't come right away. But first control, probably because how else are you going to experiment? They're experimenting. So, in the end, if it's have a smaller amount of people in the world, and especially transhumanism, because they're not going to allow independent thought.
No, that's
except
not
for
going to
the
be allowed either.
select few.
Hey, Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny, I want to throw something out there.
Kinda.
You know that
Okay.
when I went to I had to go to an underground, unsolicited, unmarked church service.
Mm-hmm.
100% underground.
That's so cool. Why not? That's fun. Write that in your little, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm glad that a lot of people were there. Same, like on my side, what happens at Christmas stays in Christmas, because no one's talking about the fact that no one really cared. Just so for now it feels free, but when the holidays are over and back to life, I have a feeling they're going to put the screws. But good thing for you, you found a place to go. That's cool. We're allowed to do drive-in church outside right now. They fought for that, and you can go in the parking lot and sit in your car. My goodness.
All right, Lenny.
People need faith right now, right? And hope. So
faith and hope. Hope floats,
keep
buddy.
Fighting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Keep fighting for that. What was I going to say about, when they're talking about having, I know that's happening in Australia, but we think it might come here. Who might actually come here is the States. It might not be China. It might be that if Trump has to call some kind of no one will be president in January, it's too up in the air of we need either a re-election or whatever they have to do to get that right to restore democracy and people's faith in the vote, right? If they have to go so far as to put a hold on it, they may very well come and patrol our Canadian borders and come on in. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Well, at least with the Americans, we speak the same language. We are of the same religion. We are the same pretty much genetic makeup. I'm not too worried about the Americans.
Exactly. I don't think anyone here will be. And that's why it'll probably be the first step, because we'll be like, sure, bring in them. And then, better than if Chinese start coming here this year, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. But if some Americans
Well, Trudeau loves China.
I know. No one's going to put up with that, though. Right? So that's a good little step. And then plus, you have to remember it's a show, because it's all the same. So all the different governments, that's just for the drama plot. So you have to look at, if the drama plot is, the States doesn't like China, and oh my God, China is doing all this stuff. So great. We're going to be happy, I guess, that, we have more soldiers on our land. People have to want it. You have to have people asking and wanting it. You can't force on the people. So that could be a nice, easy way to ease things in. But I don't know much about that. Could be. If someone's going to come here, it's going to be them. Yeah. Not China.
I hope you're right. Yeah. All right, Lenny, I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
And it's been 15 minutes.
Yay, I'm going to listen to everyone else. Everyone's really so great. Nice, whole, full picture.
That's good. That. I know we got some people in from New Zealand. We had a couple of people in from America. We had people in from Canada. It's kind of going all over the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice. Happy New Year, okay, Lynn?
Thank you. You too. Happy New Year.
God bless. Bye.
Okay, God bless.
That is Lenny. And so we had Blunt News on, Lenny Poo, and then we had Supreme Cannon on, we had David Xavier on, we had Mitch on, we had Ralphe, we had Craig, we had all kinds of people on the show tonight. You know who we're missing from the comments? Anthony Ruvalacaba. He's not here. I hope he's okay. Amy Burr's not in the comments, but I have her on Skype, but she's away from Skype. I'm just trying to see who's got their Skype on here. Wants to come on for a 10-minute plug. Hitting Stacks is going to call in right now. He's got 10 minutes. From Sydney, Australia. Hey, Hitting Stacks. Tommy, how's it going, buddy?
I'm fine, dude.
Okay, buddy.
So tonight, predict 2021.
Go ahead. You got 10 minutes. Go.
Okay, what do I start with?
Anything you
COVID, want. There will be like a COVID vaccine or some sort of drug rolling out. The airlines sooner or later they're gonna bring it back, obviously.
Yep, keep going.
For housing, Australia, it's gonna continue to be going bearish. Retail gonna be bearish. More unemployment, and all the indices market, whether it's Germany 30, France 40, ASX, it's the Dow Jones and stuff is gonna go down unless they prop it up. but I think there's gonna be another crash similar to the start of the year. There's gonna be another few crashes, and it's gonna be harder
Oh, so you
because
predict
you see
another second correction, a second dip.
yeah, double correction. There's gonna be a double dip. Yeah, worse because you see the coronavirus supplement is gonna run out sooner or later. Whether it's Australia or whatever it is gonna run out, and once that runs out, the bank is gonna tap people on the shoulders and gonna start making people selling. There's already like the listings in units in Sydney has already doubled. Like especially apartments, there's more and more flooding in.
Oversupply.
Yeah, oversupply, a huge glut in the market. It was an oversupply since the beginning. They reduced the supply through like artificial shortages, just artificial. And for the pharmaceuticals, there's gonna be another shortage supply because I've worked in pharmacies in Australia, and the supply for like antacids and some antidepressants such as Lovan, which is fluoxetine, the original brands has already pretty much run out. They're still waiting for like a new batch of supply next year, January, and it's not gonna be much. So some of the brands of certain medicines has already run out, pretty much. So there's something wrong with the production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Where do you
antacids like in some part, Sydney,
What do you
Sydney,
see?
Australia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Some of the like antacids they've already run out on the shelves, like the big packets and those strong dose ones. A lot of them has run out.
I made a video like 3 days ago about a shortage
Yeah,
medication.
it's already happening. It's even happening before you made the vid, because nothing's manufactured here. They're either manufactured in like India, like all the generic brands, or the original brands are manufactured in Europe, like Germany, Spain, things like that. There's no drug that's made in Australia locally anymore. The only thing that's made locally is supplements like vitamin D supplements or like fish oil supplements, things like that, or propolis, those like honey things, like those honey syrup, those supplement things. Those are mostly manufactured, but again, some of them are mixed, so like 50% Australian made, 50% New Zealand made, or they call it made in Australia from imported ingredients. So there's not much things that's produced locally anymore.
That's scary, especially if it's medication that needs to be imported. And why do countries not, like, it's like Australia, for example? I mean, technologically, infrastructure is good. Why don't they just produce their own stuff, create jobs? Like, what the hell?
Because the government has no political will. There's a lack of political will.
Yeah. What do you see happening with, what else do you see happening in 2021?
So housing wise, stock wise, and job wise is all gonna go down even more. For geopolitics, I see the Middle East, there's gonna be another sort of skirmish with Iran, like how they got rid of Soleimani and how they made the oil price go really high in 2019. They're gonna do something very similar.
Okay. What do you see happening? What do you see happening with China? China looks like it's setting up or building some sort of island northeast of a northeast part of Australia, and they're what do you see with the Iron Curtain of Taiwan?
It's probably Cold War 2.0.
Okay.
Cold War 2.0, or possibly Hot War.
Really? You think China is gonna do something with Taiwan? I don't know. I think that's a death wish for China if they pull something like that.
Yeah, but I definitely see that something gonna happen with either Iran or Ukraine first, because the Iran and Ukraine issue is very like underreported.
Yes, it is.
Believe it or not, it's very, very severely underreported. Or there's something gonna happen with Ukraine. There's gonna be like another false flag, like you know what happened in 2018 October with the Kerch Strait incident. The Kerch Strait incident.
Mm-hmm.
When they the Ukrainian boats and the Russian boats they sort of like skirmish, like they bump into each other, but there was no like real gunfire, and the Ukrainians got arrested by the Russians, and then the Russians closed the bridge, like around Crimea.
Right.
So there could be something happening like that, and there's a lot of military drills around the Baltic states, or Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania with the NATO, and Russia's beefing up military drills with Belarus and Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization with the SEO. So a lot of people say the Third World War is pretty much NATO versus SEO. And I also watched a interview by the Syrian president Bashar al-Assad.
Yeah.
He said like everyone has different like opinions, but he said like Syria could be like the next World War III like wild card. So some people say it could be start with Iran. Some people say it could start with Ukraine. Well, the president of Syria said it could start with Syria, and like that could unfold like across everywhere, because you can see Azerbaijan and Armenia, they're fighting, but again it's another proxy war. So you got Turkey, Israel supporting Azerbaijan, and then you had Iran, Syria, Russia supporting Armenia. And it's not like a religion fight either, because you see Turkey is a Sunni Muslim country and they're backing Azerbaijan, which is Shia. And then you have Iran, which is Shia, but it's backing Armenia, which is Orthodox Christian.
Right.
So I think it's just another like a US versus Russia proxy war. Also a Saudi versus Iran proxy war, because Saudi and Turkey, they're on the same side. So it's another like small proxy war that could come up. And I think 2021 there could be another proxy war. And as well as in Sudan, the situation in Sudan, it's a little bit unstable at the moment, with the ousting of Omar al-Bashir, the former president, who was accused of genocide of like 300,000 people in Darfur. Like that's what the mainstream media says. But when I watched the interview between Al Jazeera and President Omar al-Bashir and the Global News with the President Omar al-Bashir, he denied the allegations. He said it's because of like a Zionist lobbies inside America, like the Israeli American how do you say it, lobby, the IPAC, American Israeli lobby, sort of like pushed America to create all these so-called like fake awareness about like Save Darfur and all that.
Yes.
Just like when they lied about Iraq, they lied about Iraq twice. The second one was a weapons of mass destruction. The first one was the Kuwait incubator babies. Have you heard about that?
I know the story. The lady is crying and they
in
started throwing
1991.
babies on the ground and I can't breathe.
Yeah, and then there's this lady called the Nayira. It's called the Nayira testimony. And then it was, again, proven to be false. So Nayira testimony, just Google. Yeah. So her name is Nayira, which is Nayirah, Nayira testimony. She's like a 15-year-old girl who provided so-called like testimony, but was fake. And she was later found out to be the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador. So she basically just fabricated that so the U.S. could go into the Gulf War. And I think something is gonna like be very similar to what's gonna happen to Ukraine or Iran.
Yeah.
But Syria, for the time being, I see Syria being stabilized, which is good, because if Syria isn't stabilized, it will be like literally Libya 2.0. There'll be like more influx of illegal immigrants into Europe and more catastrophe inside Syria itself. It would like literally turn into Libya 2.0 if like Bashar is gone.
And what do you see happening in East Asia and the West? What do you see happening in those countries if conflict does spark in the Middle East?
I probably think for East Asia, it's going to be like a proxy. What China and Russia will do, they'll probably back Iran, and North Korea, Venezuela will back Iran, whilst Japan, South Korea, Philippines, they will probably back the anti-Assad.
And Vietnam.
Like they'll be on like NATO side. They'll be like Asian NATO, like Japan, South Korea, and all the other Malaysia probably, Philippines, all these countries, and that will be like a new Cold War.
Australia will be with China. I'm just being sarcastic.
Australia will be with the
it wouldn't
US.
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. What do you think of that law that they're trying to pass in your country where it's going to allow Chinese military, well, any foreign military and any foreign police to come in and they're not liable if they kill you.
Oh, that's like the same as the vaccine one. Like if vaccines kill you, the companies aren't liable. It's the same as that. Equivalent, exactly equivalent. Most of Australians, they wouldn't agree with it. They would hate any. I mean, whether it's US, whether it's China, whether it's Russia, whether it's anybody to like be in there. Like a lot of like Australians who are woke up, they wouldn't want any like they don't want to be part of any war. They know that once dragged, it's not gonna come back. It's like what happened in the 30s in like America. Did you know that 80% of Americans were against going into the Second World War?
Of course they were.
But then Roosevelt like decided to push like a bit further. He decided to push it. He decided to provoke through like all the sanctions against Japan and Germany, and then that ultimately led to World War II. So the Americans, the Roosevelt, he sent soldiers near Britain to provoke like German U-boats and stuff, but Germany just tried to avoid American troops. Also for Japan, they put so many embargo, like Japan can't buy any oil and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hello? 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 I think we lost Buddy there. Where is he? Hitting stacks. He's in my favorites. Where is he? We lost him. It's okay. He went 13 minutes. Hitting stacks went 13 minutes. That's okay. That's okay. We had him on. He's got put up some really good points. He gave us a little look or a forecast on the Middle East / Southeast Asia area. So he did okay. He did good for 13 minutes. I let him talk as much. We got Eduardo that wants to come on right now. Let's get Eduardo on the show. Second. So let's see if we get Eduardo on the show. Yo, Eduardo.
Mike, how's it going?
Oh, wow. Hold on. Are you at the airport? Hold on. Let me get this.
Oh, Mike.
There you are.
Oh, can't hear you, Mike.
Yeah, because you were using Zoom.
Hang on a second.
Stop using Zoom. You there?
Check.
Check. Starlight, star bright. First star I see tonight.
Weird.
I wish I may. I wish
Mike,
I
I
can.
cannot hear you for some reason.
You can't hear me because you were using Zoom before, and it doesn't calibrate with Skype. You got to change your audio over.
Check 1 2. Say
yeah,
something.
Right here. Change your speakers over.
There you are. Yeah, I just did. Sorry about that.
That's what happens when you use Zoom before you go on Skype.
I haven't used Zoom on this PC ever.
Okay, no worries. I'm just breaking you. Okay, Eduardo here from the GTA area, the Toronto area. Welcome. Okay, buddy, 2021, go ahead, lay it out.
First things first, how do you say Merry Christmas in Portuguese?
Feliz Natal.
One more time?
Feliz Natal.
Feliz Natal. Okay, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we know that the Chinese have been paying off Biden and a whole bunch of Americans. Mm-hmm. We know Trudeau is deeply in love with China. We know his father was deeply in love with Chinese. Mm-hmm. We know they're communists. Mm-hmm. We know the banksters are trying to set up the what's that currency in China as the new reserve status, but they keep that kind of quiet. Eh? You got to keep that quiet, right?
Okay.
We know this has happened, right?
Right. Well, 2021. What is it going to roll into? What's going to happen?
China wants to rule the world, but first they got to feed the world. They need resources, so they're going to come after Canada, and you see it. So you crash the economy, and you bring in the social credit with all this COVID nonsense. Mm-hmm. People are going to be desperate for money, so they're going to start taking this fake vaccine. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're Chinese and you're thinking, okay, I don't want to blow up the country, I just want to take it over. How can I get the population to go down to almost nothing?
I see what you're saying. Well, they've been importing fentanyl from their factories in China. It was actually reported by our fake news. CBC actually reported factory owned by Chinese fentanyl factories owned by the Chinese Communist Party was pumping in fentanyl and opioids on our streets here and wiping out our youth.
Well, they were doing it to. We did it to them for 100 years, didn't we?
Yes.
Not us, but the British Crown, right?
The British. I'm Portuguese, so I'm off the hook.
Yeah, you guys are just importing really good tasting pork, probably, right?
Yep.
Gotta love that roast pork. Anyways, so China wants Canada, but they don't want to destroy the country. They're buying it up slowly, crash the economy, bring in the virus, let it take about a year and a half, so everyone says, "Oh, it's fine. It's not killing that many people." The propagandize the hell out of it. You're going to have a minority of people that are going to be saying, "No, we're not going to take this vaccine," and they'll be fine, except life is going to be kind of lousy. You won't be able to go to movies. Woohoo! I couldn't care less anyways. Won't be able to fly. Well, I got my own plane, so I can go anywhere I want anyways. And you're going to be selling business to get into is going to be fake vaccine documents.
Oh, I never thought of that as a potential business opportunity.
Well, I'd buy one, and I'm going to figure out how to make them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the plan is China wants Canada.
They want Australia too.
Yeah, well, resource rich, very productive land. The banksters are all for supporting the Chinese because they're pretty good subservient. They do what they're told. They're somewhat industrious. They'll work for next to nothing. They don't care about regulations, and they comply. If you look at all the people that are wearing masks, the Chinese, it's 100% compliance at the Costco I go to. 100%. So it's a very compliant society. And they've been used to living under communism, so it's no skin off their back, right? What a great plan for the banksters. Use China, set them up as the gold standard or the new currency standard. That's why the American dollar is going to be crashing in the next couple of years. And those are my predictions for 2021.
Where do you see gold and silver? Gold and silver. You see any going? Is it a potential investment or no?
It's the only real currency. It's everything else is fiat.
Bitcoin.
Okay, look what happened to what's the one that the banksters are running? RBC or GRC or what? Or RBX? What's that one I'm thinking about? RTX is 3 letters.
FBI?
No, there's a cryptocurrency. Ripple is associated with it. XRP?
Probably, yeah. I think that's it, yeah.
Okay, there's lawsuits coming out against XRP right now as we speak.
Is it like BitConnect?
It's the Ripple coin.
Okay.
And it's been being used for the last few months for trade between America and Mexico, I believe. So I've been told.
XRP in the comments. Yes.
Yeah, it's tied to the Ripple coin or something. I'm not a crypto person. I'm just looking at it thinking, well, if the globalists want to play on that currency, I guess that's going to be the new standard, right?
Right.
Get in early if you can. But I'm still sitting on the fence, but I'm going to put a little bit of money into it anyways, just to play safe. But yeah, me, silver, and mostly silver, a little bit of gold, and get some bullion, people. Get that bullion in your hands, especially if you're not going to take the vax, because they've been threatening a cashless society for years now. It's coming.
So how does that make you feel?
I'm totally at ease, man. I can building a chicken coop for my nephew next month. The spring, I'm going to be building a 4-season greenhouse.
Yeah, I'm thinking of putting a greenhouse here at my house too. Is that one of your planes behind you there?
That one there.
That's your plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should come fly over to visit me, man.
It's about 20 hours in the air, eh?
I know. It's a bit. I mean, you could stop halfway, stop halfway, and then stop in Saskatoon, and then from Saskatoon to here, you could. There's lakes here. There's a lot of lakes where there's a lot of planes here in the water.
Problem is getting fuel.
Oh.
That's the problem. So I got to stop every 2-3 hours. You get it where you can.
Oh.
And in the winter, the water's kind of hard.
I'm talking about summer.
You know what? I've been promising I'm going to go out there one of these days. Just never happens. In construction, I'm busy in the summer, right?
I know you're
Then I
busy.
tell people I'm going moose hunting for 2 weeks. They scream at me, but you promise you're going to get it done in the fall. I says, yeah, when I get back from moose hunting. But no, we need it done now. No. Sorry. Bye-bye.
What do you do with the moose? Can you fit it on the plane?
Yeah, I take it out in halves. Take the back seats out, take the passenger seat out.
Okay.
And then we trailer it back to Toronto.
Okay.
In a freezer.
Interesting. Very interesting. Anything else you want to, any predictions? Anything else? Do you see food going up or no?
It has to go up. Let's see. Vinyl siding and windows increases 8% starting February 1st. Steel siding and aluminum siding 6% and 9% increase February 1st. Food's got to go up. Has to. And now with the second lockdown coming, shortages. Was it last week or a week before we had one of the meat packers in Guelph got shut down because of COVID.
That's not good.
This is going to escalate. And you know what's going to be the real kicker? All the Karens are going to be ratting us out, the people that don't wear masks, the people that have more than 10 people at home, the people that have a party. You're going to see a lot of Karens and Kevins ratting people out.
You know what?
And we're going to get blamed. The people that haven't vaccinated, that aren't social distancing, we're going to get blamed for all the few deaths that start happening from the second rollout of the vaccine.
Let me throw something out there. What about them ratting out people that have more than 4 or 5 days worth of food in their home?
You know what, Mike? You got to excuse my French. If there's anyone with kids, small kids in the house, cover their ears. You know what my favorite saying of 2021 is going to be? Kids cover parents cover your kids' ears. Fuck you, make me.
Oh, whoa, some pretty big words there.
Well.
Yeah, no, I understand.
They said it's a free country. There you go.
That's true.
Oh, you're going to make me? I guess we're in a communist country then, aren't we? Or is it a socialist banana republic of Canada?
That's ASBRC. Social banana.
Okay, Mike. Next caller. Thanks,
all right.
man.
Thank you, Eduardo. God bless you.
All the best for the new year. And to all our listeners, guys, think. And if you're talking to Karens and Kevins, just ask questions. You can't argue with these people. Indoctrination runs deep. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. That is our Eduardo there in Toronto calling into the show on Mike in the Night. We're rolling into our second hour, and we'll do a quick channel plug. We're headed towards 2021. What are your predictions, people? What are you predicting? What are you predicting, guys? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, part of the channel if you guys can. Be part of the channel. Subscribe. I want to thank last month everyone that sent super chats. I appreciate that. Super chats, like I don't make much money on YouTube anymore, but the super chats added up, and I get like 90% of that or 80%, and that was really good. And Steven Sewell sent me $50 on super chat. That really made my week right there. Guys, here's my Instagram. Please go ahead and send me show tips on here. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Parler. Walking Journeys on Parler. So there's a lot of YouTube celebrities on Parler right now. Artbydano.com, not your average art. So if you're looking for something outside the box, please buy from a like-minded subscriber of the show, artbydano.net. And our music is brought to us by Ralphe.co.New Zealand. Don't forget to check him out and subscribe to his channel. And he can make you a custom song. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, that's the quick plug there. In today's stories, let's go over what we were talking about today. Sorry, guys, I got a slight cough. I was out shoveling the wet snow the other day, and I got kind of sick. Okay, here it is. Suicide bombing suspect in Nashville explosion. Many jobless Americans will lose benefits unless Trump signs a relief bill. 1 in 1,000 Americans have died from COVID. Oh my God, really? All right, let's get this crap out of the way here. I can't even digest this stuff. Confirmed cases of new COVID variant in Canada are unsurprising, experts say. Hong Kong national security law, about 30 people overseas sought by police. China passes law to protect River Yangtze. Beijing silent on reported changes to Hong Kong political system. So there's lots happening here. So it's a lot of COVID crap. Okay, so Lord will return. Bible scholars 2021 end of the world prediction after decoding the text. That's coming from the London Express. We have the Sun here saying Baba's visions, Baba Vanga 2021 predictions, the mystic who foresaw 9/11 sees cure for cancer, and the dragon seizing humanity. And the dragon obviously is the Chinese dragon. Nostradamus 2021 predictions, asteroid and end of all world prediction in horror forecast. 2021 cybersecurity predictions. This is pretty good. Automation drives a tidal wave of sphere phishing campaigns. Cloud hosting providers finally crack down on cyber abuse. Hackers infest home networks with worms. Booby-trapped smart chargers led to smart car hacks. Users revolt over smart device privacy. Attackers swarm VPNs and RPDs as the remote workforce swells. Attackers pinpoint security gaps in legacy endpoints. Every service without MFA will suffer a breach. And that's your predictions there for cyber. 2021 prediction, guys. Where are you guys? All right. Who do we have? Who do we got coming on the show now? Let's get Sean. Let's give Sean 10 minutes. Yo, Sean, what's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just winding down for the holidays. How are you?
I'm doing really good. It's good to have you on, buddy. And it's good to see that you got your, how do you say, your show up on Sundays there. It's really good that you guys are keeping it. Are you guys doing another show tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to make it a regular thing. Well,
please.
Well, we can.
Please, yeah, do it. Because then once you start creating the consistency, people start rolling in and know what time to be there, right?
Yeah, and like the goal for me is just to get as much information and a message out as possible. And I see my gain is screwed up. I don't know. My camera seems fine, but
it looks good. It's like black and white. It's like you're in the 50s and I'm in the future. I want to thank Papa Pissed for sending me $5.49. Thanks for the super chat, guys. That actually, it's nice to get that. Okay, all right. Go ahead. It's all yours. Predictions 2021.
All right. Well, I think, like, prediction-wise, like, I have guesses and I have predictions. So my guess is, my prediction would be definitely a harder crackdown on the censorship. So I think a lot of previous callers have been pretty, like, on the mark, generally speaking. So, but I think one thing that is kind of key to all of this is the breakdown in communication and the degree of censorship that they're going to impose on us like you've never seen probably ever before, to the point of arresting people with an opinion. So I think that's definitely a danger there. Potential betrayals by other companies, like depending on 230, like, all these people seem to think that repealing 230 is a good thing. I don't think so, because if you repeal 230, you're also getting rid of the protections for the smaller platforms.
Right.
So, it's not even being enforced, for one. If it was being enforced, then, YouTube and Twitter would be reprimanded. But since they're funding the pockets of the very senators that they're so-called being, scolded by, it's all a show, it's all act. And same with the politicians. The technocrats don't like the politicians either. They hate them just as much as we do. They're inconvenient. Politicians are only meant to have tomatoes and rotten food thrown at them. That's always been their purpose, to be the meat shield. So censorship's going to be a big thing. Arrests are going to be a big thing. They're going to crank up the fear even more. If you want predictions, just like look at what Bill Gates is saying, or Klaus Schwab. Like they want an energy-based currency. That's what they want as the new currency. So energy itself will be like the like a commodity and a currency. So I think like input and output, your calories, that from the calories to the gas that you use, everything, they want us off the street. It's like they're going to push probably electric this, electric that, Internet of Things, more technology that spies on you, that rats you out. So, the government doesn't need to pay Karens and Kevins to do it.
Social credit score coming to the West?
Definitely coming. What they're trying to do is they want everybody dependent on government, right? So a good way to do that is to shut down small businesses. And there may be upstarts out there, but I mean, if say you were ready to open up a game store this year, would you do it?
No.
Yeah. And I think most people would be like, I'll wait and see what happens. And I don't think that light at the end of the tunnel is gonna happen unless we definitely turn things around. I think the things may be delayed, but they're going to keep on pushing. There's always going to be the next mutation. Always going to be the next strain. They're going to really push and push and push all of this to get it normalized. And if they need to use the unborn generation to do it, because they have to do this in steps, right? Income tax, it was supposed to be temporary, and then it became a lifelong thing, and then
the GST. The GST was supposed to pay off our deficit. Now we have it 25 years later.
Yeah, and you're born into it, and you know nothing else, and that's what they're counting on. They're counting on a generation that is tracked from birth to death. That's what's at stake here. So, these aren't prediction. That's not a prediction for 2021. But definitely, I do see crackdowns. I do see potential. I'm hearing things. This isn't a prediction, but it's sort of a guess about January. The month of Janus. I'm hearing things about potential reset somewhere late January, like crashing of the markets. At the very least. And I just wanted to touch on the difference between Bitcoin and XRP. Now, XRP is very centralized. The Ripple has, I think it was 98% of the total supply. It's very centralized. Whereas, Bitcoin, it has its flaws, and the weakness, I'd say, is in the miners. Most of the miners are in China. But it could always be forked into something else that more people have consensus on, so that China doesn't have a monopoly on mining. So there's a bit more flexibility there. There's Monero. Not every cryptocurrency is necessarily alike, unless they're copycats.
Right.
So there's a lot of, it's easy to say, cryptocurrency, and generalize it as, it's going to track you, it's going to do this and that. But there's a lot more to it in the what should I say, the foundation or the protocols involved. So I would definitely, I don't like to discuss my finances, but I feel like I should be telling people that I do have some, and I do think it's definitely a good store of value. Institutions are coming in on it. Big people big names are putting a lot of money into it as a store of value, because it's still very difficult to transport gold, the liquidity just isn't there. You can't. Bitcoin. It's not heavy. You don't have to store it somewhere. There's not a serial system and all that. But I do still think it's a good idea, of course, to have precious metals, bullion, food. But yeah, I wouldn't write Bitcoin off as something that's like a scam just yet. There's still a ways to go for Bitcoin to gain in value. I'm still long-term long on Bitcoin until I see any sort of signs on the charts that indicate, okay, it's over. So yeah, there's no one single person other than Satoshi that has the power to sort of monopolize and completely dominate the Bitcoin system. So XRP, I don't think is the one. I don't know if it's going to replace SWIFT, but SWIFT will be replaced. China and Russia have their own sort of version of Swift that they're rolling out.
Right.
So, there's something you'll see probably more. There was a trade deal not long ago that the US was not involved in, which accounted for about 30% of world trade. So, a lot of things are going to happen, I think, this year. A lot of things have been prepped for this year, for this moment, and they're not going to give it up just like that. So, they're weaponizing the food. They want us all dependent on the government. That's what communism's meant to do. It's not meant to be an economic system. It's a front for control, to control the population into subservience to an authoritative body. So it doesn't really matter what you call it. It's just a bunch of socialism.
Okay.
So
1 minute. Where do you see travel?
Travel is going to be completely restricted. They want us to be global citizens, and yet they don't want us to leave our neighborhoods without passes. So it will. I don't know if that's going to be next year. I think they're going to hire more medical staff to contact trace you and keep an eye on you. They're going to start paying people to spy on other people. The typical Bolshevik stuff. Read your Bolshevism. Learn about the Holodomor and how that came to be. Read Solzhenitsyn. And study up on communism, because the same tactics are being used as back then, just with the spin, a technological spin.
What do you see food?
Food, I think food, you're going to see more slowdown and scarcity, limiting of food. These rich the people at the top don't care about the economy crashing. They don't care about the stock market and stuff. What they care about is direct control over the resources. So, in 1972, I believe, the Rockefellers saw the writing on the wall, and they said, well, okay, let's start buying the resources that people need, that people depend upon directly. So then at that point, it doesn't matter what the market does, what the economy does. They have the resources at the source. So, neo-feudalism, we're approaching that point where, if you're caught on the king's land or the queen's land, poaching a rabbit, you could be hung for it. Right. We're sort of going back to those days. And another thing to be concerned, I think it's going to ramp up next year too, is protected lands, biodiversity lands, territories, limited, human habitats. They're going to start saying, oh, well, on your property that there's a species at risk. So we're going to have to expropriate your property, give it to, indigenous, or give it to the government or what have you. So I see expropriation coming down the line.
Really?
Sort of with – I think they've been trying to do this for a while, but I think they're going to try to step that up in the name of climate and, sustainability, which is a joke. Because the very people that claim to be that you should be sustainable are the very ones that caused, the culprits of the biggest pollution and scams, way greater than your average Joe can do. They fly their private jets. So I think you'll see that. And I think the indigenous people in Canada are being used. They're being duped. And they're going to be thrown under the bus.
The European immigrants are also. And a lot of them were deported in the early 2000s. They got used for the infrastructure to build, and a lot of them got shown the door, right? So I think everyone is getting, even the people that are coming in that are working at Tim Hortons are being used, because then they could trump up on their workers' rights and say, I could send you back to your country if you misbehave here, working at Tim Hortons. So everyone in some way or another is being used here, or being abused or thrown around. And I think...
go to Canada. You have all this PR in other countries saying, Canada's great, blah blah blah, and then you get here, and then there's stipulations, there's a catch. You end up being a slave in a factory, or being underpaid somewhere, and that's why they want to bring these foreign workers in, so they can underpay the foreign workers, leave people out of jobs, make them on the dole, get them dependent on daddy government. Mm-hmm. And I swear, I mean, if people take these vaccines, they don't care who you are. You know, they just want the numbers. They want the numbers, the death numbers for taking this thing as high as possible. And I think, I mean, it's you got to be insane to take this. This is technology. It's not the word vax is a misnomer. This is not like any other vax you've ever had in your life. There are nanites. They have the technology for nanites in these, which, you know, forget about Neuralink. Neuralink's outdated. You know, you need to, for Neuralink to access the neurons in the brain, they have to be directly connected or beside the neuron, the synapses in your brain. Whereas with optogenetics and nanites and, you know, with the microtech, basically, they could actually travel to targeted locations, pre-programmed locations in your body, and propagate and replicate in the targeted areas. So like this has never been done before. It's absolutely insane. Keep in mind that it's the government that's breaking the laws. They're breaking human rights laws. They're breaking the Nuremberg Code by experimenting. They've not done challenge studies. So they, you know, when the challenge studies, when you're exposed to the actual virus, well, you find that there's cytokine storms. And you know, there hasn't been any success for these. So I believe that the first vaccine is sort of opening the back door to your DNA makeup, and then the second one is, you know, they may have with you what they will kind of type deal. So I'm not gonna take this. I mean, even if my life depends on it, and you know, it's good to see some Christians standing up because, you know, in general, like, sorry to say, I'm gonna, you know, a lot of Christians are not gonna like me for this, but, you know, Christianity they used to die for their beliefs. They used to fight for their beliefs. You know, there's the Crusades. They you know, fought back the Fatimid Empire and the dozen Crusades after that. So, you know, if not for the Christians who fought and died for what they believed in, there would be no Europe.
Right.
You know, it'd be Europeistan. So, you know, like, draw their line. My line is where, you know, somebody is coercion and force. And that's where I draw the line, when somebody forces something into me or you know, I mean, I could tell you this much: the Chinese troops are not coming into my house. It's not happening. That's a no. I'm not. It's all or nothing at that point. So.
All right, Sean, we're gonna let you go. We got you a little overtime today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you go. We're gonna get more callers in. Thanks for your updates and all your stuff, and then all your predictions and some of your guesses. And we'll look back on it a year from now and see.
Yeah, and everybody out there, Merry Christmas and Happy Yuletide, and stay safe, and more importantly, stay free.
All right, Sean. God bless you.
Take care. Bless you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. That is Mr. Lemmerman, and don't forget to catch him live. They got. Let me open his page here. They got 17. Let's get on there. I think let me see, make sure I'm following. I have a lemon. I got to log in. I'm going to log in later. I know I'm following the page because I get links for it. But yeah, there's Mitch on there. Oh, there's a lot of people on there. Guys, don't forget to check them out on Blunt News on DLive. There's the link right there. Blunt and Sean usually co-host the show every Sunday. So it doesn't coincide with Mike in the Night. This way I could promote them, right? I'm being sarcastic. But anyways, let's move on. Let's go over to Syria and call our friend Layla and see what she has to tell us. It's weird because it's not ringing when I'm calling her. That's kind of weird. Layla, you there?
Hello? I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you perfectly. How art thou?
I'm good, thank you. Is it too noisy around me, Mike, or you can hear me fine?
I could hear you perfectly.
What the heck?
I could hear you perfectly. You're perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm going to go into the chat here. Guys, I want to show you guys a video that Layla sent me from Damascus. Here, I'm just going to put it on full screen. You sent me a... Oh, why is it doing this? Let me go back to the chat here. Let me open this little link here you sent me of the church in Damascus. And is this in downtown?
Yeah, yeah, it's in one of the pretty areas in Damascus, like a wealthier area. And there's plenty of churches all around Damascus. I just happened to walk by there on the eve of Christmas. And
Yeah, and then
it
you
was
sent me this video and you thought of Mike Martin's.
yeah, so the second video I sent you is it's a way bigger deal. It's so there's this major church in it's a little bit north of Damascus in a place called Saidnaya. And it's a really important church, and a lot of people come from all around to visit it. It's an Orthodox church, and it's still popular with everyone. And they're always celebrating stuff. So and I've been there, and the stuff I want to send you is from there. And that's close to where they speak Aramaic. So you'll find people around there. We couldn't catch those people, but there's some coffee shops along the way you can stop at, and apparently they speak Aramaic in there. So
that's really
people
nice.
Go in and
that's really
catch a
nice that
video.
I was happy when I saw this video. I'm like, wow, she's sending me a video of a church in Damascus. This is great.
There's so many churches around here, Mike. There's so many of them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Okay, all right, Layla. You know why we have you on here tonight. 2021 predictions. You got the floor. It's all you. Go ahead. Tell us what can you predict or guess for 2021?
I really think bankruptcies are going to kick in.
Okay.
They're encouraging bankruptcies left, right, and center. Like they recently made a change to student loans, and that they can be filed for a bankruptcy under Chapter 11. So that was a new change that they just made. The new stimulus does not cover student loans, so you see how they're trying to guide them. So that's one, and there's plenty going on in Canada. There was the Manitoba test, there's a PEI test, the Ontario test is old, and this UBI Works website that I sent you, that's not a a not-for-profit group of people, somewhere in Toronto trying to. No, that's legit. Like people are relying on this as a major source of information to fund UBI. So I really think bankruptcies and UBI are going to kick in, and they're already signaling a lot of that. So I think it's pretty close. I think CBDCs are going to kick in. I mean, maybe not fully by end of 2021, but a lot of countries are already past the pilot stages, including Canada. So it's just a matter of time before they play the card of, oh, China is already CBD. We have to catch up with China, and the whole narrative that brings the whole world up to the same, level, which is CBDC. So it's going to start with China.
Speaking of China, speaking of keeping up with China, do you see social credit scores coming to the West?
I think it's a bit early. I think the groundwork is definitely in there, but I think it's a bit early. I think that the CBDC, the whole network needs to be put in place, like how the unified identification system, I would think, is a prerequisite for something like a social credit score, because the social credit score would be like a crossroad of many roads, so your health, your money, your history. Someone sent me about the web search data. I think, did you bring that up, Mike, as well? That
No.
There's a whole lot of elements that need to be unified, and then the whole picture is going to be the social. I'm not saying they can't do it gradually. They can probably do it gradually, so they add the layers to the social credit score.
Yeah, I see them doing that. So, okay, do you first it would be like this? Do you have your Vax card? Okay, if you're not Vax, you can't travel. So that already is implemented somewhere on some digital somewhere. Somehow people know you can't travel. You know what I'm saying? And then it builds off there.
Exactly. They can do it in layers. It's not a big deal. Well, it might be a big deal. I'm not sure. It depends on the tech, but it's possible. It's a path. But to say the full-fledged social credit score picture in the West or, outside of China, I'm not so sure. I can see maybe London making a lot of headway in this area, just because they have the third highest number of facial recognition cameras per capita in London. So maybe maybe they're already testing a number of things. They've got some techs in place, so that's possible. So CBDCs are going to make headway. UBI bankruptcies definitely are going to go up. I think what everyone said regarding gold, real estate, cryptos, it's all going to go up. I thought Blunt's point was was original, because he was saying that it's the relative value, like who catches up the most with inflation. And I think some people are trying to communicate this refinement, like it's not in absolute amounts, it's more relative amounts, and it matters. Because at the end of the day, you can say that something like Bitcoin is going to be 100,000 by 2021, but again, 100,000 what, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good. Okay, travel. What do you see travel?
I think it's going to be complicated, but I don't think they're going to have a system fully implemented in place. I think they're going to tinker with a number of things. Different countries are already trying different things, and different airlines are trying to come out with different policies for their travel whatever their travel format or whatever it is, how they manage the whole point A to point B thing. So for example, Thailand is tinkering with something like, okay, we're going to lift the the quarantine requirement, something like that. They're going to reduce the quarantine requirement, increase the number of days people can stay. And then you have airlines coming out and saying you have to have a vaccine. Others are, negative tests. So I think different formats are being piloted in different parts of the world, just like lockdowns were piloted all over the world, different lockdowns.
Right.
And
right.
so I think they're going to continue with that.
Do you see
the vaccine is going to kick in?
Yeah.
Pretty well. I still think they're piloting a lot of that too. Like I'm not seeing the full-fledged the end game picture yet. I think they're still testing a lot the mRNA responses. So they've done a quick and dirty lab test, and now they're testing it across the populations. So I think it's a bit early for that as well.
Real quick,
but it doesn't mean that it's not. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I just wanted you to really quick to wars. Any hot wars there in the Middle East? What are you feeling there? Any tensions there in Syria?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I forget his good name. The guy out of Australia. He was breaking down the whole Syria, Assad.
Hitting stacks, Tommy.
Okay, so I think he covered it off pretty well.
Okay.
Pretty completely.
Okay.
So I think that covered off everything. Yeah, he's right on the ball with all of that. Well, at least I completely align with what he's saying.
Perfect.
Like the way he's got the different camps figured out is all right. It's all correct, in my opinion.
Food shortage, anything?
Yes, absolutely. I think that is definitely lined up for. Everyone needs to follow. What's his channel? The Ice Age Farmer, Christian. He's such a great person, and he covers that really. Like he's very specialized in his videos, and I think he delivers really specific information that is really worth following. So he's been tracking all of these factories, farms, lands just going up in flames, that are going to affect the food shortages, and he's got them all on a map. So that's pretty clever, and that too is being signaled very regularly in the media, just about everywhere. Mainly in North America. I think I've seen some things in France and Europe. Well, we certainly have issues here in the Middle East. So not to say anything about the Beirut bombing, just to say the least.
Right.
They can be more obvious in here just because there's a war situation, but they have different tactics in North America, and things like that. So I think that's definitely underway. Yeah.
2 minutes. Where do you see gold, silver, and other gold, silver, palladium? What do you see happening with that?
I don't know so much about these, Mike. They've been repressing the price of gold very, very much, and they've been signaling a lot of, ideas against gold. So I really feel that they want us off gold. They don't want gold in people's hands. That's pretty clear to me. Instead, there's a huge push for Bitcoin and all things crypto. I'm not sold on Bitcoin. I never was. I probably never will be. I need Sean and Blunt to tell me how they don't see Bitcoin and other high-powered cryptos not being a segue for everything that has to do with the digital ID. I don't see how Bitcoin and cryptos are a way out. I think Raven is totally right about how quickly and easily they can turn these currencies into whatever you want to call them, into something obsolete that is really not hard and on every level, from an administrative point of view, a legal point of view, a tax point of view, and a technical point of view. So anyone like Metal Gear, we're constantly debating on the chat with Metal Gear. Anyone who tells me that the internet is foolproof, that anything online or anything under the sun is foolproof is simply not true. I work in telecom. We can bring a network down. It can take it. Not anyone can make this decision, but if the right VP says it's taken down, it's going to be taken down. There is no such thing as anything that is foolproof. It's just a matter, again, like Blunt News was saying, it's relative. It's about finding the better strategy compared to others, or the lesser of several evils, I guess.
Okay. All right. Any final words?
No, I'm good. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, was that church Catholic? People were asking.
Which one?
The one with the video with the bell ringing.
That I think is an evangelical church. Turns out.
Okay.
Is that a proper sect, or am I wrong?
I don't even know. I'm just Catholic.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
No problem.
I think it's evangelical. Okay.
Okay. All right, Layla. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for your input, and God bless.
God bless. Thanks so much, Mike. Take care, everyone.
Take care, Layla. Bye. All right, that is Layla. Let's get on Lord Humongous. Get a plug on from Lord Humongous. Lord Humongous.
Yes, sir.
Did you think we were going to do an entire show without you?
Well, I was hoping.
Okay, you're here now. Go ahead. You got 10 minutes. Plug. 2021 predictions.
My predictions are I'm going to eat this leftovers I just heated up.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful prime rib dinner yesterday.
Nice.
Mike, I really don't know this year. I was more on it last year. I kind of just sort of stopped caring altogether. Because I noticed that every problem, it's always people want to do the opposite. So there's only really two choices in the whole matter. And what do you do when both choices are wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We don't have enough choices. That's the problem, I think. It's this group says this group says that, this group says that. There's a lot of stuff behind the curtain that goes on that we don't ever know about.
Mm-hmm.
Those dark entities are always warring with each other on who's going to maintain some kind of control over some system that everybody has to work for.
Mm-hmm.
They've already been doing that for 400 years.
Right.
You would think humans would get smart enough and figure out to stop using their money systems, find alternatives, get out of anything they have to offer. That goes for every country, every communist country, every whatever ideology country, America, capitalism, North America. The problem is, Mike, is that they control the resources that way. And then they go on these phony exchanges and these phony stock markets where they can be rigged and the currencies can be manipulated for decades.
Oh, and they've been manipulating gold and silver for the last 30, 40, 50 years.
Exactly. So you never really find its true value,
Mm-hmm.
And to me, as long as somebody is able to do that, I really don't have a prediction because I really don't see. All I see is destruction, man. I see this technology that's really just electrons. You know how they were talking about, they all want energy credits. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I guess at the end of the day, it boils down to energy credits of some sort. But food is what gives humans energy and the ability to think and use their minds. So they're cutting that off right now. the supply chains have been destroyed since last year. I
Right.
called that when that happened. Yeah, I just, humans are selfish. Humans are selfish internally, and there's the whole greed factor, and that they're never satisfied. So to tell you the truth, I don't really. I think it might just go stagnant some more. I don't know what's going to happen with this clown show of a government we have here in America. Where you have the two clown parties always fighting against each other. That's a given. I suspect there's going to be some more bread and circus on that level. I think I'm just going to have to live my life, man, and try to continue to show people on a personal level a better way of advancing their own personal lives.
Okay.
It's really tough to really think of predictions because there's too many, there's too much ingredients in the cake, in the equation. It's always these outside things like nobody saw COVID coming. Well, now we all know what the COVID really is. And these are plans that are unveiling all by design. These things have been laid out for I don't know how many decades. These secret banking groups and these Freemasons and these secret societies. Even the mafia itself out of Italy is a secret society. They live by a code.
La Cosa Nostra.
Yeah, but then you have the RICO charges of the 80s come in, and it pretty much took care of that. But did it really? Because even in the American prisons, like the big mafia gangs, they run a lot of stuff from inside. So how much is this technology going to really benefit anybody?
Well, it definitely isn't going to benefit. If anything, it's going to track us more and slow us down and create more red tape.
But what my point being is, it's essentially turning every human being into one of those prisoners inside of that prison system.
Right.
Because, the U.S. government is the ones who created the internet.
The military.
So, yeah. So to even have a cryptocurrency, which was developed in the 1950s, by the way, to put that faith in it and not to think that it's so anonymous and deregulated. I mean, I really find that naive that people have not even thought that portion of it out yet. So I'm just going to continue to put my faith in God and, do the right thing, man. It's going to be the ones that are paying the price, the poor, the downtrodden that have been beaten down by this system for a very long time in this country, in my country, America. Those are the people that you're going to want to be on your side at that, because they know how to survive. It's funny because I've seen even with the COVID people, a lot of the rich elite people were the ones that were the most scared, and they wanted to wear a mask everywhere and mandate that everybody else wears a mask. But you notice the homeless didn't really care, and they seem to be immune. Where's the thousands of dead homeless in the streets? Maybe they have the true cure? I don't know what it is.
No, we know what's really happening. We understand that. And now a second virus appeared in Canada, apparently. And now there's all this other stuff happening right now. And you're right, it's hard to predict.
Nice timing on that, by the way. Huh. You would think it would be like maybe an Ebola strain of some sort that comes back, or not COVID-2. You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to name this new? Is this a mutated virus of some sort that we've heard about?
The COVID strikes back.
Yes. I think we should contact Dr. Bill Gates because he's an expert.
Wait, that guy can't do 10 push-ups. He shouldn't be some world health minister or something that he tries to be.
But he created Microsoft. He stole it. He stole. No, did he steal he stole Microsoft code, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows exactly what vaccines work, even though the older vaccines have taken 30 years to develop to be effective. And there were still side effects with those.
Right.
A lot of autism offshoots from kids, right? Yeah, we stupid humans, we like to go so fast in this life that we don't stop and think about the choices that we're really making and the detrimental effects it has on the whole of us as human beings, you know.
Mhm.
But I guess we're all along for the ride, Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in the end. It's it. It's what it is. We're all on the roller coaster. Those metal bars are down on our laps. We can't get up and jump off anymore. We're going for the ride.
But I would say to these guys that are so into this crypto and stuff, I would say that, you know, they're just enslaving you with that stuff, man. You know, I think we need to get back to the basics as humans, not just in one country or the other that's warring against each other, or one party or the other. They're all circus show. It's a circus show act.
It's a flea circus.
Why are all how many American presidents have been actors?
Quite a few, actually, if you actually break it down. Yes.
Right, exactly, right. So to me, it's one big production show. It's like science fiction theater, you know, and it gets old after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because as humans, we don't want to be trapped like, you know, in cages, in our houses, or in a prison cell. We want to be free. We want to be free individuals to make free choices, right?
You're right, 100%.
I try. So, what are the plans for the New Year's for you, Mikey?
Me, no, you know, I'm just staying home. I'm gonna be closed the day after on the 1st, and I'll be back at the shop on the 2nd. I'm just gonna enjoy family. That's what I've been doing, enjoying my family, playing board games.
Hasn't that been the best gift?
Oh, having my kids has been the best thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Right, being around your family. I mean, that time I spent in California last 2 months with my mom, who I hadn't seen in 2 years, by the way.
Good.
It was the best gift I could ever ask for.
Right.
So that's what I'm grateful for, man. And I just hope that all humans, we can, you know, stop with the fighting and the bickering back and forth, because it's ultimately not us, you know, the majority that's fighting. Really, it's really how they manipulate us through these politicians and that outside layer. I would say people need to focus their energy on getting rid of those people and removing them physically from their offices. That's just a suggestion, but
yeah,
what do I know, right?
No, you know a lot, and that's why you're on the show all the time.
Well, I love this show, man. It's great.
Yeah. All right, Lord, I appreciate your input. We're gonna get some other people on. We got a few minutes left. We're gonna see if we get some more callers on.
All right. God bless.
God bless you. Happy New Year. Okay, brother?
You too, brother.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
I think that's like our 20th caller so far or more. I try to get Evan from the Chronicle on. He's busy. Let's see if we can get Gino. Let's see if we get Gigi on. Gino. Come on, Gino. No answer. Hey, Gigi, is that you?
Yes, it is me. Good evening, Mike. My first time on your show.
Oh, well, thank you so much for adding me on Skype. Go ahead. You got some time. First off, Merry Christmas, and go ahead. Give us your 2021 predictions. What do you got for us, Gigi?
Okay, Merry Christmas to your family, to you too, Mike. My prediction for 21 and not for 22, I think the thing's going to stay the same, but it's going to get worse. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, the thing's going to get worse, and we'll see what happened from 20 on 21, all the damage they did. But if we keep going with our passion, that's what all you guys been talking about before me. Our passion, that's what's going to drive us in the right direction. Right. Because we can focus on the COVID all the time, and we cannot focus on how much money we did this year and Bitcoin and gold and what we're going to do with all that. It's our passion who's going to drive us in the right direction. Our family. 2020 has been a great year for me. Why? Because I passed 6 months of the year with my son. And my son is 10 years old. Like, how many times in your life you can pass 6 months of the year with your child at 10 years old? Once in your life.
Right.
So you have to focus on the right thing. You're like I watch all the chatting all the time. It's really interesting. There are lots of smart people in there. They're talking about gold. They're talking about silver. They're talking about Bitcoin. I don't know nothing about that, like nothing at all. I know one thing. It's what's been keeping me like in the right direction in 2020. It's my passion for nature, for snowboard, for my child, my family. And like it won't change. 2021 won't change from 2020. It's going to be the same thing where we're going to have to wear a mask. We're going to have to keep our distance. We're going to buy the food they tell us to buy. They put on the shelf for us. That won't change. They start that. They build the whole thing. So they're going to keep it in the same direction. That's for sure. That's my opinion for 2021. I don't know too much about everything, but I know that. That's going to stay that way.
So the current devices or the infrastructure they've put in place, whether it's laws, whether it is the price of food, whether it is the mask, whatever the distance, whatever it is going to get worse.
But not worse. It's going to stay like it is. They don't know too much of what they're doing. Like, you know what you say, Mike? You say all the time that, they tell us before what they're going to do. They tell us before what they're going to do. Like, did they say that when the vaccine's going to be on, okay, you're going to start going to a movie because you got your vaccine? Or they never talk about that. Did they say in 2021 things going to go back to normal? Never. So
Never.
They won't do that. You remember? You're the one who's saying that.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
That's right.
So that's the way I see things. You have to stay focused on your passion. That's the only way to go through the whole thing, because it's a big scenario. We don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. Right. And it won't change. It won't change. And me, I pass a lot of time in ski resort. So I hang out with people with a lot of money, and they're not happy, my friend. They're not happy at all. See, they're so mad because they don't control nothing with their money anymore. So that's what's going on. The money doesn't worth nothing anymore. Like, the government give me $2,000 a month to stay home. I don't do that much money working, Mike. I don't do that much money. So I don't know. I don't understand what where they're going with that, but they got an idea of what they're doing right now. That's my opinion about that. I'm French. Sorry, my English is kind of weird sometimes. So
no worries. I'm Portuguese. My English is not that good too sometimes.
I think it's really good all the time, Mike. And if I got some prediction to do for YouTube and your channel, Mike, I don't see it go away at all. I don't see it go away. You're a public person on Facebook right now, so I don't see things changing for you in the wrong way. You got your own intro song now. You were wondering about that intro song before, like the other song you had before. Now you got your own song, and I don't see you go away, my friend. See, like, there's nothing wrong with your channel. There's nothing wrong with you, like, people chatting. Nobody's got bad intention, and everybody's believing in God and being a good person. And most of the people that talked before me, they said the same thing. Like, my passion, the music, hunting, whatever it is, like, you have to focus on that. Like, talking to other people and chatting on Saturday night on my channel, like, that's what life's all about. We have to focus on what makes us happy, not what, like, they're gonna tell us to make us happy. Like, I changed job after 19 years at the same place. I changed job this year, and that's the best thing happened to me. Like, I asked my new employer, "Are you gonna ask me to have the vaccine?" Because I'm kind of scared of that vaccine. My child didn't get vaccine before 7 years old. Like I don't want to have a vaccine that I don't know what it is. And I asked my new employer, "Are you going to ask me to have that new vaccine?" Well, they said to me, "Well, never asked people to have vaccine before. We don't know. But if they ask us to have a vaccine and we get sick and we die from it, what's going to happen with that after? Like, can my girlfriend came against that company and say, 'Hey, you asked my boyfriend to have a vaccine and now he's dead, and what we're doing with that, you know?'"
Yeah.
That's my way of seeing things. Is my 10-minute gone already? Did I pass my 10
No,
minutes
you still
already,
got
Mike?
4 minutes.
4 minutes? Well, it's not too bad. I was wondering if I could do the 2 minutes at the beginning. So, like, I really enjoy, Mike, your show with it. At springtime, when my snowboard finished, sometime I want to change things in my life. And we look back to go back to Vancouver, and we found you on YouTube, Mike. That's the way I found you. I was looking to go back in Vancouver, and what's happened after 20 years in Vancouver, and I see people talking about a $2,000 a month for rent. I said, oh my God, what's going on there? I don't want to go back to Vancouver and have 2 jobs.
No, you don't want to. Trust me. You're very, very, trust me, you're lucky not to have come here.
Yeah, well, I'm not lucky, Mike. Like, that's one thing I want to talk about. Everybody, before you do something, take a second opinion. You go to the garage, the guy at the garage telling you your car has got something. Well, go see somewhere else. Go get a second opinion. If you want to do a move on something or whatever what it is, get a second opinion. That's what I did. I got an opinion from some lady who was talking about a rent, and after that, I got an opinion from Mike Martin, who was walking in a back alley in October, on a long weekend in October, and talking about, look at that house, there's nobody living there. And you were talking about a $2 million worth house, like in Burnaby, a 2-floor house, and I asked you, how much tax do they pay on that? You told me $5,000 a year.
That's $8,000 now.
What did you say?
That's $8,000 now, not $5,000
$8,000. Well, Mike, we have here in Quebec, we have house that worth $200,000. Okay, and the annual tax on it are $2,000. So it's cheap, $5,000 on a $2 million house. That's what I don't. That's things like that I don't understand in life. That's what makes me don't like money. Like, it's not fair for everybody. Why someone's got a $2 million house and he pays $5,000 or $6,000 a year, and someone's gonna have a $200,000 house and he's gonna pay $2,000 a year? It doesn't make sense. It's not fair. Nothing is fair. So money, it's a tricky game. Money is a tricky game. I watch you guys talking about Bitcoin, gold. It's all interesting. Bitcoin is really, it's a mystery for me, Bitcoin. I try to know more about it, and it's hard to know what's Bitcoin all about. And I'll never trust, I think, some money that I can touch in my hand. Like when you talk about gold, if I got a big plate of gold in my hand, fine. I'll say, hey, I've got some gold in my hand. But Bitcoin on my computer?
Yeah, I know. No. I know. You want to touch it, right?
Exactly. It's like a Blade Runner 249. You will have a virtual girlfriend. I don't want a virtual girlfriend. I want a real girlfriend.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You get it, Mike?
I get it, buddy.
Mike, it's a pleasure talking to you for the first time. It's my first time on your show. It's an honor, and you're a great guy, man. Your family is a great person. Your Corvette, your store. I like the way things are going for you. You're a great guy, man.
Thanks, Gino. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend. I couldn't understand why they would close your YouTube channel. Being a good person like that, I don't understand that. Now, that can happen, man. That's my prediction for 2021. Like my channel don't close. That's for sure. You're way too much of a great guy, man. And I'm learning a lot from you, from Supreme, from Raven. Raven's a great guy, man. That guy is a great guy.
Raven actually right now is on a diplomatic mission in Russia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy is a smart guy, and he's got so many interesting stories. That haunted house that you
that was a good Christmas special, eh?
Wow, that was amazing, man. That was amazing. That was Halloween, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Halloween. Yeah.
I even listened to that show again one more time.
Well, of course, I make it listen to my girlfriend and everything. Everything is great, Mike. My 10 minutes is gone. We'll talk again soon.
Okay, and, Gino. Thanks so much. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, God bless you too, Mike, and Layla, and Blunt News, and everybody in there. Lord Humongous, you guys are great. You're really interesting people. I love you all. Peace and love for everyone, and we'll have it. 2021 is going to be a great year for us because we're going to drive our passion. All right, buddy?
That's right,
Take
Gino.
care.
God bless.
Hey, take care, Mike.
Thank
It's
you.
been an
Bye.
honor to talk to you, my friend. Bye.
Okay, bye. That's Gigi in the house. Gino. All right, he's there. I'm going to actually add him to my favorites. Add to favorites. There you go. All right, we got 26 Gunter from Wisconsin. Coming on now.
Yo, Mike, what's up?
How are you, my brother? Long time no speak.
Yeah, I've been working 7 days a week for the past month and 6 days for like a month and a half before that. So I've been working my tail off.
All right, from Wisconsin. You're just outside of Wisconsin, right?
I'm in southern Wisconsin.
Southern Wisconsin. 26 Gunter. Okay, 2021 predictions. Fire off. Let's go. 10 minutes.
All right. First, I want to apologize because I came on your the election show, and Supreme Cannon was trying to get me to come on, and right after that, I pretty much like passed out. I wanted to come on though. And
That's okay.
Give my
That's
thoughts.
okay. You're here now.
But 2021, I think things are gonna keep getting more intense. Things are gonna ratchet. They're gonna ratchet up the pressure more and more. We might see some bigger conflicts than what we saw in the Caucasus region with Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Okay.
Maybe something involving Turkey. Maybe something involving Iran. I don't think World War III is going to kick off just yet. I think the goal is to kind of take the United States out of the picture, or maybe make it one of the battlegrounds. Which is why I see Biden holding on to the presidency. I think this whole thing going on with Trump is to stir up this kind of right-wing frenzy, and come next year, we'll see a hard lockdown across the country. Now, that might not happen. Trump might be able to pull it off. All of this is just theatrics anyway by the elites. It's just all theatrics. It keeps people distracted from what's going on. You know, they hit them with politics, and then they hit them with COVID. We might potentially see some kind of like Project Bluebeam event happen.
Okay.
So it's gonna be could be an interesting year, but I think it's definitely gonna be a lot more action.
What's that Project Bluebeam you said?
Project Bluebeam, that has to deal with like holograms and aliens. I forget. I researched it several years ago. But
why do you think it's going to be something that might happen in 2021?
Because it seems like, you know, the whole world is heading for a massive conflict, and the only way to avoid that would be to have, you know, like a alien invasion, you know, in quotes. If they were to stage some kind of event,
first contact,
you know, or say like a massive asteroid is coming this way, the world has to pull together, you know, to fight the invaders, or to send Bruce Willis up to blow up the asteroid like in Armageddon.
Yeah.
Some kind of event like that I think is coming near. Maybe not next year. I could see it happening though. But I don't see the United States going deep into like the social credit score or like a digital currency. We're still a couple years off that. Now, I think in the cities we'll start to see a rollout. You'll start to see beta testing.
Okay. Like Los Angeles, New York, because
yeah. I mean, in a way, we already kind of have like beta testing going on with social media. Look at how YouTube is, you know, controlling things. Look at how Facebook and Twitter's controlling things. I think we'll start to see them kind of take a more proactive stance with their censorship and control. As far as, you know, economics or finance. It doesn't look like Biden is going to do a massive student loan forgiveness, but I can see maybe the precursor to UBI coming in. Maybe some kind of like semi-annual. They might start next year with a semi-annual stimulus or quarterly stimulus, and then eventually that'll turn into something maybe monthly, and then they'll might end up passing some kind of UBI program. There has to be something that comes up to get people hooked to getting that money, and that's kind of what's happening right now. You know, you got people getting mad about not getting the stimulus check recently. People are already wanting that money.
Right.
You got a lot of people out of work, but in my state, we have a lot of jobs. We have especially a lot of industrial jobs. Maybe not all of them pay a lot. I'm lucky to be at a job making $22 an hour.
Oh, in your state where you live, the $22 an hour is actually good. You have a decent buying power with the. But if you if you were in Los Angeles, it's not that great. But where you are, I think it's just perfect for you right now.
Yeah, I could get start a small family with that. Buy a decent house, $250,000 house, and not be underwater. But not a lot of people are so lucky. That's probably why we're starting to see a lot more people from like Chicago, Milwaukee, even far-flung places. I've met a few people from New York have moved here. We're starting to see a lot more people coming in.
And what about Californians? Are they reaching there? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I've made some friends with a few Californians. There's a whole family of them. It's like 30 people moved here, I think, over a decade ago.
Wow.
They're not crazy liberal types. Well, some of them are, but most of them, they're kind of, easy come, easy go.
All right. What about blackouts, EMPs? Anything on the radar there for you for 2021?
Maybe mostly in California or the West Coast in general. With this recent attack in Nashville, seems like a test on our communications infrastructure. Seeing how resistant it is to physical attack. I think we could definitely see more of those next year. Of course, you had that train derailment in Washington State carrying oil.
That's
then
correct.
That truck blew up in New York City. What was that, like propane truck?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see more of these events happening. They may or may not blame them on the so-called right wing, but I think these are being carried out by both the government and foreign agents to different ends.
Okay.
Food,
price of food. Where do you see food going?
Oh, it's going to go up. Gas will go up. Food will go up. I can see the financial markets, as far as stocks, and that they could be near their peak. They might not drop right away, or we might see another COVID-like event, see them drop and then pump back up. But later on in the year, finally the rug will be pulled out.
Right.
That's when all the inflation that's been in the financial economy will shift to the real economy. And we're not going to necessarily see hyperinflation, but you'll definitely see rising prices.
Okay. What do you think? What about gun grabs?
It's coming. They're not going to be able to get it done right away, but they're coming. Definitely see it in a state like California. Definitely your more leftist, democratic, liberal areas could start doing that, but Wisconsin's still mostly rural, conservative. They're not going to be able to get away with that yet. Now, the day is coming where it's going to be by force. they're not going to continue beating around the bush and be like, hey, we'll buy it from you, or, go ahead and turn it in. The day will come where they will come take them by force.
Door to door.
Yeah.
Wow. What about secession? Any secession on the radar there? You think Texas will become the Republic of Texas again?
No, I think all that's just talk. All that's just theatrics. Me personally, I would like to see it, but I think it's all just talk.
Okay.
All of the politics, there's no political solution anymore. The only solution is what our forefathers did.
Right.
That's our only solution right now. There's no more trying to compromise with. There's either side. There's no compromise, and they both are completely different. I suppose there's some people calling for peaceful separation, but that's not going to happen.
Right.
The left they're too parasitic. They can't produce on their own. They can only consume. So they need the right in order to survive.
Right. And the right doesn't need the left.
Nope. But which is why I don't see secession happening.
Okay, fair enough. Any final words?
No, thanks for having me. It's been a hoot and a half of a year, and looking forward to another one.
Okay, we look forward to having you back on again, giving us an update on what's happening in your area. Keep an eye on the ground for us. Let us know, okay?
Yeah, I've been keeping my head down, just trying to work slowly, accumulate things. Everybody stay safe. Be prepared. Get fit. Whatever you have to do, these next couple years are going to be real challenging. So get ready for them.
All right. Thanks so much, Gunter. Happy New Year, by the way.
Thanks, Mike. You too.
All right. God bless you. All right. That's 26 Gunter in southern Wisconsin there, giving us an update. So we got on... I don't know, 20, 22, maybe 23 calls in today, 23, 24 people calling in. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else that has their Skype on. Yeah, but that's it, guys. It's been a pleasant 3 hours with you guys, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I worked all day, came home, spent some time with the family. I'm tired. I'm gonna take tomorrow off. I want to thank all the callers that called in, like Blunt News, Sean. We had Lord Humongous. We got Ralphe. We got Craig. We got Gigi call in. We got 26 Gunter call in. Layla. We had Eduardo call in. We had Lenny Poo call in. We had Supreme Cannon call in. We have David Xavier call in. We had Mitch Madden call in. Who else? I wanted to get Anthony Ruvalacaba on, but he never came on. We'll get Dano on next week. Yeah, well, I wanted to get Amy Burr on. She I guess she was probably tied up somewhere. Who knows? And yeah, Haystacks Tommy came on. So we got quite a few callers. So watch us from the beginning. If you're just tuning in, kind of rewind back to the start of the show. It's a great show, guys. Great predictions. The Raven right now is on a diplomatic mission, so he can't come on right now. So he's it's kind of hard to get him on right now. I did speak to him prior, before the show. I did speak to him, and he's doing good. And guys, don't forget to check out Blunt News. Blunt News and Sean have a show tomorrow night. They're going to go live, and they promised that they're going to make it a regular thing. So basically, for Mike in the night, we go over to the Blunt News and Sean Lieberman show there on D-Live. So you guys could go ahead and set your reminders there on D-Live and follow and join the channel, please, if you can. I respectfully ask that you do that, because they respectfully come on the channel here to help us out too. And I will make an appearance there one day if they like me to. And Mike Banks, no, Raven's on a diplomatic mission. I spoke to him before. We've been talking for hours. So Anyways, guys, I want to thank everybody. Mike, if you're just joining us, go back to the beginning. We have a really good show. There's a really good show tonight, guys. Don't forget to share this. Yeah, just be part of the channel. Let's have some wind down music.
Streaming. Do we want more? Is what we have the power to set us free. Mike in the night live streaming. Mike in the night, oh Mike in the night. So join us in the chat room. Join us in the chat room.
Remember, take care, and if you can't take care, please stay safe, and thanks for watching.